used to stand out. Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy, it's electricity. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy, it's electricity. Electricity. You move your body. Electricity. You move your body. It's electricity.
This is it. This is the moment you've all been waiting for 8 months long. It's the final game series of this patch! Woo! Could I get a round of applause, please?
Congratulations, the
Congratulations. We're all winners.
The winners, the audience,
We're all winners here.
we're all winners.
And
This will be
Except the
exciting.
losers.
except the losers. And there will be one big winner and one not as big winner at the conclusion of this series. TSM FTX versus Evil Geniuses. We've already talked at length about Evil Geniuses. We've seen what they're capable of. But TSM FTX, in my opinion, darkest of the horses throughout this entire NA regional. Sure, they've been signed freshly. They go to a boot camp. Life's looking good. I didn't really expect them to be able to come here and just stomp their way through. We got a chance to speak to Moon Meander previously. He said that, yeah, you people may only come in and see the results, but it's been a long journey to get to that point. And eventually it paid off. And we also got a chance to speak to Tomato and see what he thinks about his upcoming opponent.
Hello, my name is NC Unoli, also known as Tomato, and I play carry, position 1 for TSM FTX.
A little bit of vision here. Looks like Dubu wants to sacrifice himself, but they're gonna ignore him for now.
Is he actually
he's
gonna
get
find
the
the
kill on
kill?
Palo in the meantime?
Oh,
my
no way,
God.
dude.
Unreal. Tomato will get out, obviously.
Feels nice to have the backup. I think I personally really like the TSM, like they're like champions and they got the black and white logo and their marriage. I think it's really cool to get into the vibes that you're like in an elite organization in the world and you're gonna represent them, so you need to like give your best. And they help us a lot with like small things such as like food, that you don't have to worry about making your own food. They give us like these amazing chefs that they cook so good at. So they take off all the burden that players normally have to take care of and just allow us to focus on our game completely.
I feel like you have made this joke many a time. They're gonna find a pickup on Bane, so it's a 5v4 in favor of Quincy Crew, but Bryle coming in to try to clean up, gets the electric vortex onto Quinn, and that is a double kill for Tomato.
It was nice to be at the final because I think my teammates and I put a lot of effort. We rarely take breaks and we're constantly pushing ourselves to the limit to get better. I mean, I think for me specifically, I want to show that all these years I've grown a lot as a person and as a player, and that if you put your heart and mind into something for a lot of time, you can achieve great things. And that's what I want to show today, that I've been doing it for like 2 years now, that I've just been completely dedicated to the game, and I think it's taking my game to the next step.
Tomato's excited and it's well deserved. This is a team that has always been the, what's the terminology? The not the bride, but the bridesmaid. They always get so close to being able to fight international opponents. Eventually, thankfully, they did get their chance at TI, but that was the first one throughout an entire year of playing together.
And that was a good showing too.
Yeah.
Actually, in my opinion. I guess they were hoping to get a better result than they did there, but they looked great in the group stage. Unfortunately, on the main stage, they got outclassed slightly, but it definitely could have been a top 8 finish based on how they played at that tournament if that day had gone a bit better for them. So to me, they've already proven how good they are back at TI. So I'm not really that surprised that they keep it up, especially with the mentality that they had. A lot of teams, when they don't reach their ultimate goal at TI, they lose confidence, they lose faith in each other, they fall flat and want something new because the grass is always greener. This team was immediately, like the day after they got knocked out, they made a public statement. We're staying together. We're going to play next season. We're really proud of what we got to do here, and we want to show more of that. That's just awesome. You know, that's the kind of team you want to play for. So I'm super happy for them.
For sure. And considering how fierce the competition last TI was,
Yeah.
their showing was even more impressive, to be honest. And just watching them go through this level up and the build up to what they are now, it's like anime. And you know I love anime, so.
Moonmander also. I remember vaguely. I don't. It may have been an Attack on Titan thing where he said that his team's battle cry was like Shinezo Sasagayo.
Shinza Sasagio.
Yeah. Okay. What does that mean?
Like, dedicate your hearts
And which show is that
to
from?
the cause. Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay. It is. Okay. Yeah. That was his battle cry. Whenever
The new Attack on Titan.
There's
thing
an-
is, you have to say Tatakai.
Tatakai
Means fight.
and say the battle cry again. What was it?
No, I'm not gonna say it again.
What? I'm trying to educate myself
My favorite
here.
quote is from Code Gias.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
Lelouch.
Yes.
Lelouch.
Lelouch yourself in the moment
Right.
is what they say in that one.
Yeah.
I love that show.
If you had one opportunity, would you capture grand finals? That's what TSM FTX are asking right now. Life's looking good for them. Do you think they need to reevaluate Evil Geniuses at all after what they've witnessed during this Quincy Crew series?
I think they should expect EG to do better in lanes. That's the main thing. Like, I feel like that was EG's biggest growth from day 1 to day 3 was just their better understanding of how to draft and play lanes, play strong lanes together to transition into mid game. It's always been this team's biggest strength in the region. Their laning prowess is unmatched when they play their absolute best. So today, I think now that TSM got to play the easy EG earlier, now it's time for the hard EG. And I can't help but feel like there's no way they're just going to roll them 3-0 again. Or it was 2-0 last time, but it's going to be much more of a fight today. So adjusting strategy is probably mainly about making sure you get off to a good start in lanes.
Also, we can't forget about how experimental EG were on that first
Yes.
day, right? They had some strange support combinations. They had that Witch Doctor, I believe, versus Storm and Monkey.
Like Credon
thing.
Chen,
There was a Chen as well.
I mean,
different things.
there's all this creativity, but while we were watching that Tomato interview, I noticed a little something suspicious. Something that was caught my eye. Something very large that caught my eye. Could we take a look, perhaps? Now, who is this very buff individual sitting on the left side of the camera
Wow.
here?
It's Saberlight.
It's
Moonman
Saberlight.
That's
said
right.
that in
It
the
is
interview.
Saberlight, yeah. And so Saberlight, famously on TI-10 EG, might have some more insight into how that team would work, would he not?
I mean, I think if there's anyone who can help them play against EG, it is Saberlight.
Exactly, Saberlight.
I love Saberlight.
And I love heroes. I love seeing what heroes are going to show up. So let's get a draft going. EG versus TSM FTX, game number 1, grand finals. Nothing has happened yet.
Oh,
I guess Io,
Okay.
Queen of Pain.
Whoa.
I was gonna say this hero could very well get banned by TSM. That
Moxie was theorizing at the end of that cast. He was like, do you have to respect these Mars?
Also, you're not scared of Snap now.
Yeah, which is weird because at the beginning of this tournament, you were saying, let's ban out the snap and then you don't need to worry about Mars. Seems to have flipped around for EG. Ban out the Mars, don't need to worry about the snap.
I don't think we're gonna see Weaver at all this series either.
Because it's going to be banned all the time?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
And
Moonmeander said it's his best
Yeah.
hero. He wasn't afraid to say that in any interview. He was like, "Hey, you guys should know this is my best hero. Like, why are you letting me play it? Everybody knows." And it's
Oh, there is
incredible.
no-
They're banning both. Wow.
Oh.
because it feels like they're just so proficient when they're together, and just banning out one gets rid of that huge threat, right? But to take out both is a lot of respect on how Crit has been playing Snap.
Especially because we've seen a good solution to snap in the Nyx Assassin, and so if they were to let that through, you'd think that TSM FTX could respond, but they're taking a wildly different approach compared to Quincy Crew's let's ban out Abed all the time. And now EG need to determine, do we ban out the IO or do we ban out the Queen of Pain?
Yeah, I think no matter what they do, TSM will pick the other one, and if both are in the pool, they're going to pick Queen. So, there you go. It's going to be an IO, probably.
There's also Spirit Breaker, who we've only seen once. I wonder if he's going to make a reappearance during these finals.
It hasn't seemed like a hero that EG rate very highly, and I have a theory that it could be because it's not a lane-dominant support. Spirit Breaker doesn't particularly win many lanes, especially not when it's picked early. It's very easy to prepare and draft for it. Alright, they're gonna go Bane instead.
Which we have seen as an IO response,
Yep.
or so it may be preemptive here.
That actually makes a lot of sense. They might also have the read that EG don't rate IO as highly. EG do want to do it?
And they take away the most comfort support that Jarex has shown in his pool
Yeah.
so far this season.
5 seconds remaining.
So,
Sure.
we have seen a pretty consistent trend with picking an Abed hero first phase. You want to take any bets, Sin? If they were to pick it, who it would be? Any of the Storm, the Puck, the TA?
If they pick any of his heroes first phase, it's Storm.
Okay.
Even against Bane, I think the hero is very playable, especially when you rush Orchid. It's about enabling it with vision. So you could also take a Tusk +1 approach. All right, they're gonna go. Now I think they're going Tusk.
Yep. Good call.
There's the other option is Tusk Puck. That's what they ran in one of their other games as well against 4 Zoomers yesterday, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah, I guess what EG are thinking here is we're not gonna fall into your trap because you're clearly letting us have Storm on purpose. So we'll go for a different route with the Puck Tusk.
But also this opens up for the more roaming-oriented playstyle we've seen a little bit more recently in these last couple of days with Crit on the Tusk. And we've seen him play around a Puck before to a lot of success, right? But it's gonna depend entirely on how they're going to lane early on.
I thought they were actually going to pick Void Spirit, but one of the two. You want a mid hero that's hard to gank for Tusk and that lanes well against Puck. Ember is great. I think Void Spirit would have also been fine, but perhaps Ember is actually slightly better because of the lane matchup overall.
But also, Coil is a really good tool at killing Ember Spirit early on. If he gets coiled with a Tusk rotation,
5 seconds.
Ember can very well die, right? So Bane has to be very clean in his TP saves and all of those things early on. It feels like a good Ember game, but at the same time, it's double-edged, in my opinion.
You probably only kill Ember in a coil if Flame Guard is on cooldown, right? I think Puck Tusk can't kill him 100-0. Unless Tusk is also 6, but that's unlikely, right? Mm-hmm. So I think with a high-level Flame Guard, you feel pretty safe as Ember. That might be a part of the reason here that they're opting to go for that for Bryle. But I do think it is a move to watch out for, and it is going to happen in this game, just maybe not right away at level 6 on Puck.
TSM FTX did their homework with their coach, whoever that may be.
Saberlight.
Yes, correct, Saberlight.
Coach Saberlight.
Coach Saberlight and offlaner Saberlight. They banned out the OD, which was who they gave to Nightfall in their Puck Tusk game against 4 Zoomers. And in addition to that hero, they also had a Jakiro and a Razor on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Yep.
So when you were talking about how it's not so bad to play Storm versus Bane, especially if you go Orchid like Abed is in the building, I think that's probably the reason why they chose the Puck instead, honestly, because it's an easier way of controlling the Bane and it's got more survivability without even having to commit to that early item choice.
Bulba is staying hydrated, by the way. Look at that insanely big water bottle. There's enough for the whole week. Sorry, go ahead, Effie.
10 seconds remaining.
Wait, where's the water bomb? I'm imagining it should be encapsulated. There we go.
Remaining.
Encapsulating half the room with the amount of water this man is
All right,
investing.
so what I think EG did in order to get this much better is they took all the skill points out of camera placement from day one, and then they put them into gameplay. The camera placement of Bulba and Artesia, well, it's the same chair,
It's the
right?
same
It's
camera.
because he's sitting in
Yeah.
I-
You're getting duped.
I think they're reinforcing them, right? Every time someone has a good game, probably give them some chocolates. We saw yesterday, Nightfall got an Aegis on his OD. I was
That's
like, you know what,
right.
you're doing a good job. Let's
Yep.
give you this Aegis. Keep doing a good job. I believe they've got a secret stash of something they're giving.
I like the idea of chocolate. I'm incentivized by desserts.
Same. I too am a retriever.
What? You don't give dogs chocolate?
No, but you give them food as reward.
Yeah,
it's
that's
very motivating. It's the most food-motivated breed ever, I think.
Can you scratch me behind the ears also, Sin? When I'm
I
making a
can't
point?
reach.
Oh.
It's too far down.
Just put your weight on this glass panel. It's very solid.
Yes.
Next.
That'll go over great.
Next set of bans, all offlane targeted actually for both teams. Veno, OD, Beastmaster, and Lycan.
Syndrin, I just want you to know that yes, dogs are food motivated, but my dog is a freak of nature who doesn't even like peanut butter.
What?
She is a freak of nature.
Dogs love the Kongs or whatever?
She doesn't like it. And,
Really?
And the dog treats that I buy her, she never eats. She's so bizarre.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe that's why they
She's
banned
not a retriever then.
She's not a retriever.
There you go.
5
She's a
seconds
little gremlin.
remaining.
That's why they ban out Lycan.
Speaking of dogs, yes.
No
there
dogs,
you go.
no dog.
You know me so
Give
well.
me some. Give me
There
some.
you go.
There we go.
That's some
We fist
good love.
bump. We fist bump off camera. You couldn't see
We
it.
did it off camera, guys. There's no proof. So now I'm gonna actually hate each other.
Viper gets banned out. Another offlaner. Give me another. Let's ban out. No, Mars is already banned.
Got any more animals left to ban? We banned the snakes and the dog and the Beastmaster with all his boars.
Dude, what happened to Magnus? Did he really get nerfed that hard?
That's also an animal.
Where's Doom? I've been demanding Doom. Give me the Doom.
Don't think we're getting Doom.
All right, fine. Slardar.
Don't think we're getting.
All right,
Slardar.
Timbersaw.
Don't think we're getting Timbersaw?
Legion Commander. Hey, it's your hero.
Hey, I've asked for this hero
Been begging for it against
well,
Tidehunter though.
I'll tell you why. It's because they took Bane, right?
Yeah.
They're always gonna. It's been a good. By the way, the last series, every time they picked Bane, it was also a good disruptor game. I would argue that it might even be better. Maybe not on lane, but just as overall in that game versus the Tide and the IO. But yeah, so disruptor is picked because he has a interrupt, right? A very low committal interrupt on Bane with glimpse if he does grip, and of course the static storm, the instant silence on the Ember Spirit, which is what you need. There's also follow-up damage on top of the coil, right? So they've got a little bit of a wombo combo going on.
You can also do some cool plays with glimpse and coil
True.
to snap that. So yeah, there's plenty of playmaking opportunity here for Disruptor. I think. So Disruptor is not exactly a hero I would say I'm like an expert on how to draft around, but I will say something Disruptor really benefits from is playing with heroes that want to go in, because you want to play Disruptor as the offensive team, because that's when Glimpse gives +1 kills. So having that with Tusk and Puck is really like, we're gonna run at you, start the fight. If you guys respond and we're ahead, you're not losing one hero, you're losing minimum 2, maybe even 3 if the fight's long enough, because of that additional pick, and on top of all the other reasons that we already mentioned why he's good.
Absolutely. And to make the best use of this disruptor, they have to put themselves in that kind of winning situation, because when disruptor is playing on the offensive team, he feels like the best catch support in the game.
He is, yeah.
But when he's playing from behind, it just feels like a hero that dies in 2 seconds. He sucks versus BKB as well.
Ooh, we get another Moon Meander Monkey King. Most likely, not necessarily guaranteed, but he did play it as a support previously, and a Death Prophet, as I would imagine for Saberlight.
Yeah, could also technically be a support DP, but that's a bit of a stretch, I think, to put DP on 4 in this game and put the Monkey King 1. But
They have flexed it between Dubu and Saberlight in the past, but
yeah,
I was wondering how long it would take for us to see a Death Prophet
why'd you want it?
in NA, because it's been so popular in other regions. C and China have prioritized this hero in the first phase sometimes, because it is a strong laner, but also it just simplifies your gameplay in a way that you have a spell to play around, a spell to take objectives, and it does really well against a lot of the melee strength heroes that are in meta right now, like Kunkka and Mars.
Where have they been putting the Death Prophets usually?
They've been putting her support, they've been putting her mid,
Okay.
not offlane?
also offlane.
Also offlane, so 3 different roles.
Everything but carry.
All right.
I've seen her 4, 5, 3.
Now, TSM FTX wondering what EG are going to be doing for their offlaner. What is Nightfall going to be picking? Because the pool is getting smaller and smaller, and so is the reserve time. God damn.
So
They banned Darkseer, actually.
They do actually have a way to catch Puck now that's a bit more reliable than just committing the grip, right? They have the Boundless Strike, which is nigh instant into Death Prophet Silence.
Yep.
Because it's a projectile, it needs to be a follow-up, or the Puck's just going to disjoint it. But the Boundless Strike enables it really heavily, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
DP Sounds is also one of those spells as Puck that can catch you off guard even if you do have phase shift ready, because during the chaos of a fight, the projectile is relatively...
Hard to say.
It's kind of hard to see. It travels pretty fast. Like, it's not as good as the old instant one, but I think it got more cast range right after it stopped being instant.
Yeah,
so
it did. And
you can
AoE, I think.
You can find angles to surprise the Puck from, especially if you're casting out of the tree line. So definitely think there's some options there. Bit surprised by the Darkseer ban, not because it's not good. It's really good for EG's strategy. It's just
Nightfall.
It's just a hero I haven't seen him play. But if they know something here, or they're just covering their bases, I do think it's an excellent ban just from a theoretical standpoint in this game. It's very good with Disruptor. It's very good with Tusk in lane. It's good with Wraith King to surge him, give him Ion Shell, and keep him going in the fight when he struggles to catch up to enemy targets.
Neither of these last two bans actually feel very Nightfall-y.
They don't.
There's still the Bloodseeker that I proposed previous series.
Yeah, it's an option.
Like, we have a Nightfall-y adjective
Benno is
already.
banned, right?
He's very
We
Nightfall-y.
haven't seen him enough yet. He might have a bigger hero pool than we give him credit for.
But I've definitely banned a lot of the heroes that I associate him with in the offlane. Mars, OD, Viper, and to an extent Venno. So he's definitely been targeted in this instance. He will have the overall last pick though, so there will be, of course, there will be something suitable.
Yeah, and TSM and FTX need to figure out what to give to Tomato. Banning out the Medusa on Evil Geniuses.
I kind of like playing the Monkey King carry in this game. I feel like the matchup against Wraith King is good. You're also a pretty good carry in lane against Tusk, given that you have the protection of a very strong 5, which you have here in the Bane.
So even without knowing the offlaner? Because they're not going to get last pick.
That's true. They might need to set it up in a way so that they can swap pieces around. That might be a little bit too complicated.
So I think Monkey King is very susceptible to dying actually from these Puck and Tusk rotations early on.
10
And
seconds remaining.
A core Monkey King.
yeah, the core Monkey King, obviously, because like if he's gonna sit down and
Seconds remaining.
farm a lane, it's gonna be a really simple matter to just rotate on him. And if you get the Thunderstrike vision, it's really easy to just glimpse him back, even if he's in the trees, right?
Right.
So Disruptor's kind of a soft counter to him here. But
Right,
also,
support.
I think it's a So I think it's a really good game for Death Prophet core, because if Monkey King had been relegated to carry, it would have been a support DP, which isn't what we're looking for here. Because so far with a BKB, DP can go ham. She can kill this Disruptor and this Tusk and this Wraith King quite easily, right? So long as she's not coiled in place and does have her item timings.
This kind of does explain the Darkseer ban and why EG also then banned out. Oh my god. That's Nightfall-y for you.
So we have seen him play this before, not to success.
Sure.
The matchup wasn't as good as it is here, though. I don't think this is a brute pick on the tier of what we saw yesterday from TSM against Quincy. It's not like an auto win, but nor was that for that matter. But it was very favored. There are some solutions here for TSM. Luna fares pretty well in lane against Brute until level 6. She has good damage. She's going to get the CS, and after that happens, you can start. I don't know if you want to park Ember there. That feels like you're taking all the steam out of your lineup, but perhaps the support Monkey King can start taking that lane to an extent. He has a way of getting away from the Brute. He has a stun against the spiders.
How about
He gets
Death
some levels.
Prophet? How does she fare?
No, you don't want to put her there.
That's rough.
That's
So I think Monkey is the best choice, and all Monkey King needs to do against Brute is try to like pull away the creeps, get experience, kill some spiders if you can, and find some levels. So there are plays here, but the Brood last pick is very good.
All right, how about you pull away
Bye.
from this table over onto the cast? Effie, what points would you like to make? The floor is yours.
I think the Brood pick is really good, but I think that, as we've seen time and time again, this hero is killable. All it takes is a few successful rotations, and you can just kind of stop her in her tracks, right? I don't want to sing Death Prophet's praises too much, but I do think Death Prophet can play a very good game here if the Brood is solved and they do manage to kill him off a couple of times. So I like what TSM have here, honestly, even though they got last pick Brooded.
And Death Prophet's main claim to fame is going to have to be confirmed because we're seeing all this stuff in other regions. And you see how North America resolves this patch and everything in the grand finals. It's TSM FTX versus Evil Geniuses, game number 1 with Sunsfan and Synderen.
Thank you very much, Tsunami Suns. There's a pause, which is perfect because I get to catch up with my good friend
Yourself.
Synderen. How are you doing?
I'm good, Shannon. Did you like that panel segment? I was a part of it.
I was definitely listening to every single word you were saying,
Thank you so much.
as I always do. I never tune you out. I never ignore you. I never belittle you. I never do anything of any negative nature towards you, Synderen, as we are
Or
now in
positive.
game, because this is the grand finals of the regional NA division thingy, replacement of the major thingy, last series of the
Regional
patch.
finals, you got it right.
Yep, I mean, I said it, just jumble up the words and it works out. So TSM, if I'm not mistaken, they have beaten EG 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
That was the tiebreaker. They went 2-0, and it was stomps, and then 2-0 in the first round of this bracket, and that was pretty stompy too.
Yeah, I feel like EG definitely grew today and yesterday in terms of quality, but now they're being targeted a little bit differently in the bans. So we'll see how this is going to work out. They're not going to have their Mars or Snapfire. They're not going to have their Bane. All of those heroes were either banned or picked by TSM, and putting Nightfall on the Brood is definitely going to change the dynamic of how EG's lineup works, right? He was a big playmaker for them in a lot of their victories. Brood is a different beast. It's a different playstyle entirely. So we'll see if TSM's choice of... I'm not going to say they forced him onto Brood, because that's not what they did, but it ended up in this way because of the other options that he wanted earlier being taken out. See if that ends up paying dividends for them. 2 for 2 runes? No, maybe 3 for 1, actually. Tomato? No, lost the click battle.
Good effort.
I believe Tomato is younger, so statistically is favored in the click battles for the runes, as I find myself losing those a lot lately.
Yeah, you know, there's a setting that allows you to just right-click constantly just by holding it.
But when you're old, your eyes are bad and you can't find the setting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's probably in the fine print of the option.
The young players are better at reading.
I see.
They get more practice.
Yeah, that
What is 1,000 minus 7, Shannon?
993.
Very good. You are definitely awake. That monster is doing you a lot of good.
Thank you, Monster Energy, for providing me all the energy that I need in this great grand finals, best of 5. Did I mention this is the regional? It's actually so hard to remember the actual name of the major replacement, but yeah, let's talk about the lane. So Nightfall playing the Broodmother, like you talked about, going to be accompanied by Crit on his Tusk, the master class Tusk player, of course. And you can see Dubu playing Bane with Tomato on Luna. I feel like Tomato has played so many different carries just in this little bracket alone.
Yeah.
He has quite the pool of heroes.
He's a very, very versatile carry player, in my opinion. Not only does he play a lot of different heroes, but he also plays different styles when it's needed, depending on the patch. He can play very aggressive, he can play super selfish, and have success both ways. So just a talented player. Always liked the guy, and it's cool to see him find some good success with this team and a home, right? Because in a very turbulent region, of course, Tomato is originally an SA player, has found a nice home here in NA with TSM FTX, so very good for him.
In mid lane, we got Abed playing Puck with Bryle Ember Spirit, which we've seen that matchup quite a few times. Top lane, though, Moon Meander playing the support Monkey King. We see, as we just turn away from that mid lane, somehow Abed gets first blooded.
Oh!
That is incredible, actually. Is Moon Meander going to pop the Fairy Fire and will live? But I was not expecting... I mean, he was relatively low, but typically when you see that, that means most of the resources have already been expended by the opposing side.
I love when players do this. It's one of my favorite things in the mid lane, is that there's this defined meta, so to speak, right, about how you usually skill. And Brawl just puts a surprise point into Searing Chains on level 3. He's 1-1-1 build. Embers almost never do this, but in the right circumstance, it can net you that kill. And that was a really great head start for him now. Up 650 net worth against the Puck because of that solo kill. And almost, a half a level as well.
Yeah, that's great to see. And Bryle's been playing a lot. I mean, not that he was playing poorly during the actual DPC season, but you know, he'd have his games where he would struggle a bit, and it's kind of a glaring issue at times, but I mean, this tournament, he's played amazingly well.
He's actually owning Abed in this matchup. This is not even close. I know he killed him, but he's also destroying him on CS. 17 for 8 against 9 and 2.
Yeah.
Puck against Ember. This is exceptional stuff from Bryle.
Quite disgusting indeed. Mumianer forcing Jax under the tier 1 tower here. So yeah, TSM off to a good start in that mid lane. What about the other lanes? How do you think they're going so far?
I think they're going largely as expected, right? Luna does well against Brood in the beginning, so we're seeing good farm on Tomato here. 18 for 5 against Nightfall's 11 for 1.
Oh, the Courier. Okay, that's Helm of the Iron Will that will not be delivered to Arteezy. That's a pretty big deal. That's a ton of regen and armor.
Yeah. Fortunately for them, it doesn't seem too important just now with the lane state they are in. They have a good head start on regen. Moon Meander's out of regen. They used the last salve here onto Saberlight. So perhaps EG can still maintain their position in the lane, but they're kind of dry themselves as well, to be honest. There's just one tango left on Arteezy. Gonna put on the pressure on the Saberlight. We'll back off again.
But he has the Spirit Siphon is very good for sustain. And so from EG's perspective with the Broodmother pick, because we've seen Brood a couple times, and obviously game dependent type of hero still is Tomato, stuck inside the shards, but nice Nightmare from Dubu, gonna keep the Tusk in place, but Nightfall continue to do a ton of damage to Tomato. But what is the goal from EG's side with this Broodmother specifically?
You want to obviously get to level 6 as soon as possible. The problem is I think Crit needs to leech quite a bit down here to not expose Nightfall and allow him to get CS. If you just were to walk away too much and let him get the 1v2 for the experience, he's going to get every creep denied by Luna and Bane. So this is an awkward position where they kind of have to share it, although ideally they want Nightfall to get level 6 so that he can start dominating this lane alone by getting spiders. That's the goal, is bridging the gap and getting him to 6, and then I think Crit is just not going to play down here anymore for the most part. They're going to go again on Tomato, Nightmare. This time out on the Brood, though, so Crit will get some nice pot shots in here with the tag team. Some good damage.
Is it really a tag team if you're just hitting him by yourself?
He has 2 different fists working together.
Okay, okay.
The left one is called Fist, and the right one is also called Fist, but they are 2 different entities.
Twins?
Yes.
Oh, but he only Waller's punches with one fist.
He alternates.
Does he actually?
Let's say he does.
He also uses his foot. I don't know if Waller's kick uses 2 feet.
No, that uses the other fist.
Kick with your fist. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The lore, very lore friendly, of course. So yeah, actually a semi-slow start based on some of the games that we've been seeing in this regional final, but
Yep.
obviously a very important series in terms of the structural.
Commander was
jump
ready
on
there.
to Abed mid. He hits the illusory orb off though. They're just being forced out for now, as it looks like Dubu takes a tumble here to Nightfall's right click.
Yeah. It's tough to be Bane against these 2 heroes. You're very susceptible if you get caught out, and that happened for Dubu for the first time here. I think, you know, 1 death 6 minutes in this bottom lane is completely okay, as long as Luna is finding the farm that she needs, which seems to be the case. Tomato with a great CS baseline here with 37 at minute 6 is solid. At the same time, though, Nightfall now is also starting to ramp up. So with that kill, almost level 5.5, you see Arteezy being pressured. This is going to get less and less inhabitable for Wraith King, by the way. When DP reaches level 5, this starts getting really nasty when she has 3 Spirit Siphon charges. You do have the protection of Glimpse to cover you, but it's not going to be easy. They might want to bring Tusk up here sometime soon. That will align nicely with Nightfall getting some solo time bottom anyway right now to get that level 6. It's going to TP mid to refill for now, though.
And you can see a couple members of TSM making their way towards the top lane. So we'll see if they end up trying to go for Arteezy before he hits that very important level 6. But they might run into support first. Jerax is going to find them. Or the other way around, I suppose, as Nightmare's there with the pounce to follow. This should be a relatively easy kill. The Glimpse does come out, though, but with Saberlight coming through, definite kill going the way of TSM. But Arteezy's going to be just fine, at least for now.
Yep, so they made the move first. This is the move that Tusk could have also made for Crit, but opted to TP mid to refill Abed's bottle, and then the trip to top lane would have taken too long. But here we go. This is what was going to happen.
So, what kind of like after the laning stage? What options? Like, how do you like TSM's lineup against the Brood in general?
I think it's pretty decent.
Ember's pretty good. Luna can be pretty good. I mean, Crypt Swarm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options to kill the spiders, at least.
They can solve it, and I think one of the strongest things to have against Brood in general is BKB piercing lockdown as well. They have Fiend's Grip, which can be very handy. Brood has this ability to come in from odd angles, and Bane, if he catches you in any vision, just brings you down. This
Crit
is very dead.
has been standing still for about 10 seconds.
All right,
Gets
good
off the
snowball.
snowball, though. Ooh, nice ice shards, but he's actually stuck inside them himself. So he's going to get a couple right clicks to come through before his inevitable death, but Abed comes in with the coil, and that's going to be a kill on Brile as a result. Illusory Orbs to safety. Jerax getting chased. Don't think they're going to go any further, though, so it ends up being a 1-for-1. Definite favor going to EG as the mid laner for TSM drops.
Yeah, a little bit too late on the Boundless Strike there for Moon Meander. The chains had ended, so Snowball could come off, and he ends up whiffing that, so small mistake costs them quite a lot, actually. Arteezy will get out. And looking for the tower trade here is Saberlight. Obviously, they lost their bot tower quite a while ago, so he's trying to equalize and get that space. But I love this from Nightfall. I feel like Brood players don't do this enough. Like,
Yeah, they just sit in their own lane and they never move, right?
this move is very good, in my opinion. And it's forcing a lot of reaction.
Yep. Oh, fast snowball as well. Moonman just evaporates under the tier 1 tower, but more TPs have come in the form of Saberlight, so it'll be a trade. Support for support. It did require basically the entire team from TSM to try to defend that, and they do.
Yeah.
So a lot of resources.
You're pulling them all to mid, which gives Arteezy the space top. Like, the tower did end up falling anyway. If Brood could have done this 30 seconds earlier, that would have been absolutely amazing, but I still love the play regardless, just for the amount of pressure it puts on the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And now he's back to inhabiting the bottom jungle, can choose his next move, whether that's to pressure the bottom tier 2 or look for another invasive play in mid. You do have the puck coil this time around, so Abed could set him up very nicely to do a lot of damage. And the Brood Spiderlings are nothing to scoff at against a hero like Ember if he's caught in coil. They can definitely be the difference maker between life and death. He's going to flank around on Saberlight.
Yeah, trying to get the surround on him. Illusory Orb not going to connect, but the Waning Rift is enough with the chase potential from Nightfall to take out Saberlight. Boundless Strike gets a couple of spiders, but this tower might have to be given up now from TSM's perspective. Still a half HP,
middle tower is under
but
It's a goner. They didn't use
without
coil
that
either.
profit. Yeah, it's donezo. So it looks like Nightfall is going for the Orchid build.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
What kind of itemization? I mean, Yule's is pretty standard on DP. I mean, we've seen Yule's on Ember, but I'm not sure if he wants to focus on that yet because he did go for the Maelstrom. It feels kind of bad to go Yule's after like a Maelstrom.
I think you could go Maelstrom BKB this game. I think that looks really good. You want to have BKB against Disruptor and Puck. I think that's stable.
Oh, this could
Tomato's
be a
in trouble.
huge kill for EG. Oh my god.
They see him.
They do. There's the Thunder Strike snowball to follow. And a very easy kill for EG. Nice rotations overall to come from behind. So 1K lead for EG. And looking at the net worth, I mean, got to give credit to Bryle. Still top net worth overall in the game. And Brood, we're kind of used to seeing this hero up there as, you know, as long as he gets a little bit of space, which Nightfall has had. But really, if you look at the net worth, really the biggest discrepancy is the supports, I guess, between the two teams.
Structures are falling.
DP is also 1,000 behind the Brood, right?
Yeah, true.
But the supports as well, definitely looking better overall on EG.
Saberlight chasing a bit here with the Spirit Siphon. Don't think he's going to follow up anymore, as Abed was in the area as well.
The question now for EG becomes, so a lot of the time with Brood games, it's kind of straightforward what your next play is. I don't think it's that clear cut here. Now you've taken the bottom and the mid tower. What's the next goal? Is it bottom tier 2? Does that seem realistic against this lineup? Are you going to farm up for the Orchid and try to assassinate, say, the Bane or maybe even the Ember around the map? Because I think TSM are too good to just give up this bot tier 2. I just don't think that's going to happen. They will turn it into a fight, and they will be strong in this fight with Ember Maelstrom. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious where EG go from here. Some Brood games, you kind of get stuck almost. Where it's like, you
Now
really
what?
want to take the next thing and you're just kind of locked in place.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, based on past Broods, if we're talking like way back, that felt more so the case. Where
Yeah.
now you can actually join fights at least, right? That's kind of the big difference of this hero.
It's definitely better than it used to be in that aspect, but
But still thrives
does
on what
happen.
it used to do back in the day as well. So 2K lead for EG. So again, the farm slowly going in EG's favor. And do you expect that to continue if there's no big fights, or is that really just the tower difference?
They might get slightly more out of the map depending on how well they can control the top half. You ideally want to cut Luna off from farming too much up there.
Jerax does get off the glimpse. Saberlight with the oh, okay, the wand keeps them alive a little bit longer, but the sleight of fist to follow from Bryle. That'll be an easy kill for TSM. As Nightfall has a ton of spot. Oh my god. It's actually so funny seeing that, like, literally 5 seconds later at that ridiculous range. Still kind of, it actually looks so strange.
So the reason this item is a match made in heaven for Ember is that Sleight of Fist hits once every 0.2 seconds. What's the internal cooldown of Maelstrom? 0.2 seconds. So every single time he jumps to a new target, he has the proc chance, regardless of whether he hit before, and it really adds up. And it also means that you get into these funny moments because you can do the math. If there's like 20 spiders and you don't proc enough chain lightnings, how many times? It can take a full 4 seconds to wipe out the entire army, right?
Yeah.
That's very unlikely unless the Brood has pipe, that you don't kill them at some point with the Maelstrom procs, but it definitely does take a while. You're going to see the replay here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Doesn't look
13,
like he
14,
has that.
15, 16, 17.
He doesn't have that thing binded.
That was actually 17.
to separate his spiders. They got to separate them now.
I mean, you still got to click.
Yeah, you got to click. Oh, all right. Ember Spear. Bryle getting initiated on. It's going to be the coil into... Oh, nice balance strike onto 3 coming from Moon Meander, trying to get off his ult as well. He's going to try to turn this around on a crit. Looks like they might be doing so as Dubu comes in into the fray as well. It might be a trade of sorts. No, Moon Meander actually lives, and the grip on top of Abed. No illusory orb for another couple seconds. Somehow TSM turned this around into a Bryle double kill.
I love that Bryle immediately broke the coil. He just ran straight out, forced them to commit into him so his team could rotate and help out when he was going to inevitably disengage otherwise. And what a heads-up play from Moon. That was a wonderful boundless strike, setting that all up.
Wonderful, wonderful. I agree.
Good stuff.
And they've essentially evened up the game.
That equalized things.
But a lot of this feels like tower advantage anyway, so once these towers start falling in TSM's favor, it feels like they're leading right now.
It's only one tower that EG are ahead by, right? It's the mid-tier 1.
That's 1,000 gold right there.
Roughly, yeah.
Nightfall trying to recover because his little babies keep getting destroyed. You know a lot about eating babies, Cinderin, lately.
Without
also,
context, that sounds very disturbing to the audience, but...
Baby octopus in your case, not spiders.
Oh, I was thinking people. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I guess if you don't know either of us, it sounds really strange. I really apologize and to any babies that I've offended out there. But yeah, this figure that the production keeps showing us with the spiders, how much gold they've been giving, that's going to be really interesting to see when we get to mid to late game. Because like even that boundless strike that we saw earlier from Moonmeander, that's a support Monkey King able to do that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of farm for.
And that's a level 2 boundless only. So
yeah.
when that boundless levels up, 1 boundless into Primal Spring can wipe out the entire wave of spiders pretty easily.
So in terms of the pace of the game, like you talked about how Broodmothers get kind of stuck here as we're going to watch Dubu die. Did require a static storm from Jerax.
Oh, Nightfall.
Nightfall, all right, he's going to get Yulesed and completely surrounded. Gets off the Orchid, but another Yules to cancel the TP. He has reinforcements on the way, trying to turn this around as well. They're going to punch Ember into the air, and EG getting a good trade here. They're going to get several heroes as EG have come in huge numbers. A triple kill for Arteezy. They do lose the Brood in the end, but that is essentially a 4-for-1.
I would love to see a replay of that, whether Monkey King has Boundless Strike up, because I think that's actually a crucial mistake.
Oh, wow. If they can get Tomato, this is going to be a full team wipe potentially, and it looks like it's going to be. My goodness.
It is.
Wow. Very uncharacteristic here from TSM, but EG doing a great job here of recalibrating.
Yeah, that was very, very nice. I think, so what ended up happening there was that they used 2 Yules, right? So he uses the Boundless on the Spiders here, so that's on cooldown. Saberlight is going to use the Yule to connect on Nightfall. And then, as he starts TPing here, now they use the second Yule. And this, you know, that's a lot of time for both teams to react. You're essentially, quote-unquote, saving Brood for as long as you cancel his TP. And it gives all of EG's heroes time to rotate and TP for that 5 seconds combined Cyclone duration between the two.
And it's going to lead to a potential Roshan for EG.
It's a really good play call.
He's already at half health, and well, you can see TSM starting to rotate in the area. It's only a couple heroes, so this might just go the way of EG uncontested. Especially with all these Brood webs they have to get through. And yeah, that's going to be a freebie for EG. So Aegis on Abed.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. The carry is Wraith King. It's 2 lives already, and your puck has proven to be susceptible.
All right. Crit trying to go high ground to get, I would assume, a ward, but not happening yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get a catch potentially on Nightfall. No. But the
they want to
Spiders
push him in here for sure with Exorcism if possible. Abed.
Another Yule, so they're out of Yules now, but the Static Storm onto 2. EG trying to turn this around despite being down 4 versus 5. And they will find the DP right away. But there's the Ember Spirit, trying to do as much damage as possible. Gets out of that puck coil just as it dissipates. And it looks like Moon Meander takes a tumble. So 2 for nothing as EG now in full numbers, still with that Aegis to work with. And Dubu might be the sacrifice if they can catch up here. And Tomato wanting to farm, but just has to flee. Ice Shards blocks in Dubu. So that'll be a 3rd kill going the way of EG in this mini engagement. So all of a sudden, the game feels like it just turned dramatically in EG's favor. All predicated on that pretty big fight
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna find Tomato.
Oh, not again. Tomato has to
BKB.
pop the BKB TP.
Tusk is almost there. Crit has the drums, but I don't think he would have connected in time.
Where's
with
the blink, Crit? Huh?
Yeah, why
Bruh.
don't you buy Blink instead
Bruh.
of drum? You need to stop saying bruh.
I know. It's addicting. What can I say? It's just so stupid. Speaking of blink, we have one now on Abed. Who'll go along with the Witchblade. He is quite farm. Top 3 net worth right now. As Boundless Strike. Okay, they're going to try to go on top of Arteezy. So this is going to be life number 1. Exorcism is popped as well. There's the Kinetic Field. There's no Static Storm to follow it up with. As Nightfall and the rest. Oh my god! Saberlight evaporates. Moon Meander gets off his ult. But again, this is just a support Monkey King. So they're just going to ignore him for the most part. And he just dies. Duba looks to be next.
Oh, the coil too?
Oh boy.
he'll
Coil.
be fine.
No, he's fine. So Bry at the very least will live, so 2 cores live for TSM, but all they get is a reincarn, and I mean, what level is Arteezy right now? He's 15, so 100 seconds without that second life.
Jarex finds this.
Oh boy, Tomato. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Gets off the eclipse. Oh, wait. Why are we looking at him? Static Sword, oh, Armlet Toggle from Arteezy. Tomato pops the BKB, but it's not gonna matter.
Oh, that was
Arteezy-
very close, in all fairness.
That was not close at all, Cinder.
Yeah. That was 0.2 seconds from killing Arteezy there, I'm pretty sure.
My goodness. Well, either way, EG get the better of all of that. There are no trades to come, other than maybe the cooldown of that reincarn earlier, but it's going to be coming up relatively shortly now. EG have a firm grasp on this game, kind of out of nowhere. And we've seen this, not obviously this is just game 1 of this best of 5, and even this game's not over, but I've seen a lot of these DPC regions. Actually, it's not just this season, but throughout the history of Dota. You have an upper bracket and you lose to the team. You go through the lower bracket, gain some momentum, play them again. You've learned from your mistakes, and we're seeing EG kind of doing that right now. Moon Meander.
It's toast.
Yeah, he wants to try to push these waves a little bit. Boundless Strike only onto the Wraith King instead of the creeps, but it's not really going to matter either way. Just delays a bit. As EG still have this Aegis for another minute or so. So Arteezy sporting the Armlet Deso Blink Dagger. We'll be going for the Assault next. Has the Plate Mill already. And Reincarnation is back, and it's now level 2, so not a ridiculously long cooldown anymore.
I wonder if they are thinking about forcing high ground here with the Aegis still intact. At least with Tomato showing top, they want to force them to come back, and they will do that. Shard on Disruptor. Arteezy's very fast.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Dude, that AoE is so huge, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they had to, because that thing's terrible. I mean, they have to make that thing really good to be 1,400 gold purchasable for a Disruptor, you know? And now it's actually quite good. I like it. One of the cooler shards in the game, for sure. Arteezy definitely want to initiate. They want to use this Aegis, I would assume, but maybe they just sit tight. I mean, they have map control. They have the farm advantage, obviously.
It's running out in 10 seconds, so...
Yeah, a little too late then. But this tier 2 tower is almost dead. You can see TSM just grouping up, wanting Arteezy to take the bait. They get off the stun on the tree, actually. So Moonman, it looks like he's going to die. Nope. Exorcism, Boundless Strike to follow. So that's going to be life number 1 for Arteezy. Kinetic Field is popped. Nightfall pops the BKB in turn. There's the Eclipse from Tomato coming from the other side. Trying to focus everything on Arteezy. Looks like he might get him. Nope, the Armlet Toggle is keeping him alive again. Bryle ends up getting coiled, but Abed taking the brunt of the damage. But somehow nobody has died from EG. There's the Lucent Beam and the right clicks to come. Nice Yules, Nightfall, somehow staying alive. Finally, the first kill of this engagement for TSM with that Sleight of Fist. And they're going to get Arteezy, who's sticking around with that Armlet toggling as well.
Sick fight from Bryle. That was really good. That's all I have to say on the matter.
Thank you. Sick fight, bro.
Bruh. In the club.
Subscribe.
Yeah. It's got to be a BKB for Bryle as his grand reward in 400 gold. So that's definitely going to change things. And yeah, EG, I actually really like Arteezy's mindset of, okay, we have this offensive ward. I see Monkey King. Let's just go kill him right there. But he didn't have any backup on that jump. So He can't do it alone. He needed a little bit more. Just an orb and a waning rift or... Okay, that's a lot of laughing.
Are you jealous?
It's just their laughs just mean more to me than yours does.
Oh, okay. Because it's not human.
Yes, that is why.
You associate with non-humans?
This is a leading question. I plead the fifth.
Okay. Fifth what's in there? Arteezy level 17
The fifth
now.
apartment.
And I believe EG are going to
Smoke.
smoke now. So still with a
Only
6
3 hero smoke here.
Yeah, Roshan doesn't really have a spawn time as of yet. Another minute and we'll know. And that'll be a... I mean, if EG get the second Rosh, that might be a wrap on this game.
Tomato showing.
Yep, Tomato. Oh, Wraithfire Blast and stun locked into death. Dubu's going to get blocked. Beautiful Ice Shards again. You can see why Crit is considered one of, if not the best Tusk in the world. I mean, that's kind of the issue when drafting against a team like EG, where you're banning heroes like Mars, who isn't really played in general, but obviously Nightfall destroyed within the last series. And now you open up heroes like Tusk. Like, there's just too many heroes to ban from an
Gotta pick your
individual
poison, for sure.
perspective.
Classic thing about EG, they're very deep hero pools and massive variety in strategy.
And then Bulba picks 2 heroes.
Definitely being displayed here.
Just kidding, Bulba. Well, not really, but we still love you.
8k lead though, looking very good for EG here. I love that smoke, actually. It might look weird to do that with only 3 heroes, but you gotta remember what the other team is thinking, right? The information that they have access to is they saw 1 hero pushing bottom a moment ago. They kind of know that Brutus is in the bottom jungle area, but aside from that, everything is uncertain. And EG just go to where they think Tomato's going next to farm, and they get a big reward. That was a really nice smoke.
So let's talk about the next Rosh, because this is going to be a pivotal part of the game, obviously, especially for TSM, if they're able to do something about it. Like, how do you see their Rosh contesting capabilities? Because you got Wukong's. It's not like the most traditional... It's not like you have a Mars arena.
They have good heroes here.
Oh, got Searing
that's a
Chains
good
on
chain.
there too. Wraithfire Bats to try to counteract this. Nightmare's going to save Prowl for a little bit. Boundless Strike onto 3 to follow it up. Abe gets a beautiful coil onto several heroes in the back. And Moon Meander's going to be the first to fall. But look at EG. They've already lost 2 heroes. And now Abed and the rest have to run away. But that's the Exorcism pop. We'll see if they try to reset here.
What a nice Nightmare from Dubu. Very clutch. He has no items. He has boots, windlace, and a little horsey. And he gets in there and gets a clutch Nightmare onto Bryle. Get him out of that 1 stun so that he can BKB, turn that fight around. And EG really took the bait on that. Don't blame them for it. That looked so juicy. But alas, it was not a steak.
It was mutton. Is that like the lowest quality meat? It's pretty bad. Oh, Abed wants to go in. Okay, Roche is extremely low. He's going to blink in, gets off the Yules, but now Tomato takes the Aegis. They have to be careful. Eclipse is going to follow suit here. They've already lost Dubu, though. That's the first life from Arteezy, so EG look to want to fight this. Now the Exorcism is down, and they're going to reap the rewards despite not getting the Aegis. They're cleaning up pretty nicely. Saberlight trying to run away with that Spirit Siphon, but this is going to be the death of Arteezy now. So the Aegis helping carry TSM in this fight. Bryle gets glimpsed out, but Tomato trying to focus down Crit. Kinetic Field holds him in place. So EG, they lose Arteezy. They get rid of the Aegis in theory here, right? Well, not in theory, in practice.
Yep.
But I'm not sure how much that changed. I mean, obviously the death of Arteezy is the big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty big. They also got the Shard, right? That was Roche number 2.
Oh, yeah, that's
So I think the Shard went on Luna. It looked like Tomato was trying to ground cast a Lucent Beam there toward the end to kill the Tusk. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, he's the only one with Shard on his team, and I know that Abed... Well, Abed doesn't have it.
He did not steal anything there.
Abed Yulesed just as Roche was dying, so he had no real opportunity to take anything. I mean, that was a good attempt, but that was actually extremely close to being able to steal several things.
Yeah, and he also forced spells on him, right? I think some of the Yules were offensive from TSM, so they didn't have that in the follow-up fight when the rotation came in from the other teammates, but they still stood their ground and were able to fight, like you said, because of the Aegis on Tomato. If he doesn't have that, that's a really bad fight for them. But as it stands now, EG had a 9k gold lead. Now it's down to 2. And I would say with every passing minute, this Radiant lineup scales exceptionally well. DP is going to get BKB now. Luna has the completed Scotty. You've got Ember working on a Shiva's Guard. Orchid on Monkey King. They're all getting stuff. Bane even got a Ghost Scepter now. Very nice. It feels good to have an item and to be a gangsta. And Dubu has both.
He doesn't even have a neutral.
That's true. He sold his horse to buy a Ghost Scepter.
Okay. Yeah, if only that's the way it works.
I wonder what he's getting. Is it the... All right, Psychic Headband. That's a good item.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one, actually. Extra cast range for the win. And Nightfall, you can see the segregation here from river to river. Abed,
Nice Nightmare.
trying to create a little bit of space here. Nothing will come of this. Very tense moment here, so very tense indeed. Game 1 of this best of 5. We see the AC finished officially now on Arteezy.
Oh.
Has been, okay, Boundless Strike does miss. And that's one thing we should mention for TSM. They don't really have a traditional, I guess neither team really. Maybe Puck to some degree. They don't have a traditional like initiator for TSM. Feels like Boundless Strike from the trees is kind of like their initiation process.
Slide Chain is, also...
Yeah, from a range.
It is an initiation, but it doesn't really work in the same way as like a Hex or a Stun, right? Just Lotus Orbit off, or Yule it off, or get BKB. So, yeah, it's definitely... It's a bit of a dance, really. But that's the kind of fights that Ember loves. So I don't think it's necessarily a problem for TSM that they don't have the best initiation capabilities like that when EG aren't able to get the kills immediately when they jump, right? As long as they get to weave and reposition and cast their spells, largely because of Dubu with a Nightmare or because of a Monkey King stun, and they can regroup and get BKBs off, they can definitely just stand their ground and deliver. Like, Luna is exceptionally strong in this kind of game, honestly, at this point. If Tomato gets to press his BKB and just get to work, he's going to quickly kill off all the spiders to get the Moonclave bonus damage in the fight, and then he's going to Eclipse.
Yeah, going for very stat heavy. A lot of times we see Daedalus after this point for Lunas, but is opting for Satanic, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Satanic is necessary. When you already have the Scotty, like you said, Daedalus could definitely be a nice pickup here
he's
too.
Not only queuing, he's queuing Pike afterwards as well, so ultra defensive.
Yeah, that is very defensive. But I guess their mindset is we just need to survive in fights. Extended fights favor us because we have Ember, because we have Exorcism, and we, our spells that we can use twice in a fight, like Monkey King Stun and just Lucent Beams over time with the Shard is probably good enough actually. So I think there's merit to both builds.
And smoke now from TSM. They finally, okay, wait. I spoke a little too soon there, Synderen.
They finally
will get the tower. It might be denied though. They finally will see this tower get very low, and then we'll finally see it die to the right clicks of Saberlight. Well done. I mean, that is a 32-minute tier 1 tower in mid.
Took their sweet ass time with that one.
Hey, look at how much map control they have right now. That's without a mid tower. That's actually kind of insane. But obviously this game is pretty deep in now. We've made our way into the mid game for sure. And we'll see what EG wants to do as they are amalgamating into the bot lane.
This is dangerous, in my opinion, what EG are playing. They're playing with fire here. This can get punished super hard if they're not careful.
Boundless Strike on a 2, but a Static Storm immediate response. It's not really going to do too much as the Puck Coil onto 2 in the back. Feels like EG have kind of wasted a couple spells.
Yeah.
And now they have to retreat.
If they commit into the enemy base like that without getting a kill in the first 5 or 10 seconds, they're in really big trouble. And they know that. They go for a poke. They hope they can get an easy kill. They couldn't. And that move is just over. It's very dangerous because if Arteezy were to go and hit the tower, he can get slight chained or just slowed down by stuff. And if his first life is down,
I'm surprised they're sticking around even further without these 2 big cooldowns. There's the punch from Crit, trying to hold Saberlight in place. But Crit's going to take all the damage in the world and will drop to the deck. So 5v4 advantage TSM. First life for Arteezy going to be up. So as that reincarn, Saberlight and company completely surrounding him with that exorcism. But he is so fast. But the Spirit Siphon is going to slow him down. There's the Searing Chains as well. Down goes Arteezy. And it looks like Nightfall is going to be next. He pops the BKB, but really to no avail. Double kill for Bryle. And they'll be able to find Disruptor as well. So likely 4 deaths for EG. I'm surprised that they even stuck it around that area of the map, not having any of these cooldowns. I mean, that's no puck coil, and that's no static storm. I
Yeah.
feel like you don't want to ever fight at this stage without those.
And that's just being pinged out here by Abed. Guys, I think they have a ward here. And he's right. They've had that ward for about 3 minutes now. And that is what just prompted that go from TSM. That was a very easy decision to make with those spells on cooldown and with the vision you had. No problem taking those 4 kills. And probably a mid-tier 2 here for Tomato. There's 30 seconds on 3 enemy heroes, 2 of them being cores. Feels pretty safe getting to work here. Might show some respect? Nah. Let's go again.
Yeah, it's taking apart his Mask of Madness. So it has the casual Morbid Mask, but obviously the Satanic will be coming soon. And by soon, I mean literally now. He is so huge.
Still curing the Pike. I think a lot of players in this position will have the confidence to just turn this Quarterstaff into a butter. And then you could look for a Daedalus last instead of maybe your boots or your treads when you're sieging or something like that. Or instead of the Dragonlance even. I'm not sure at that point what you want to replace in this kind of game.
Dire's top tower
But-
is under attack.
It's a luxury problem. He definitely has the monies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, I mean, Kinetic Field takes about half a second to materialize. Maybe the Force Staff aspect of that is something Tomato's looking to get out of. But then again, he has BKB, and there's no Ags even remotely in sight for Jerax.
Dire's top tower is
But
under
yeah, we'll
attack.
see.
I mean, it is decent value when you already have the Dragonlance, right? If he didn't have that and he was building it from scratch, it would feel pretty bad, but this was obviously a part of his build-up from the beginning,
Dire's
so...
top tower has fallen.
Tier 2 tower taken out in the top lane in favor of TSM, who now have a 4K lead. Bryle continuing to have to stick around in this bot lane to
Dire's top tower
push out these creeps. As this is the okay, Static Storm is used. That's going to be a freebie on Dubu.
That's
So here,
so-called
BKB, Frubu,
Freeboo.
Oh, I see. So that's the buyback onto Bane. Lumiander already expended his ult and EG. We're just going to back up and potentially reset.
That's...
Oh, Bryle. Okay, he's got that Aghanim Scepter, I believe. That's going to be the Lucent Beam. Jerax, inside his own kinetic field, will die.
This is still really good for EG.
Yeah, I mean,
Forcing a
Exo's
BKB and Exo out of that for a 1-for-1 trade and a buyback.
Huh?
And
That's a
they're getting him
dieback.
again.
Oh my! Actually dies to the coil break. As Abed kind of styling right now. TSM still with the advantage, but I feel like it's all about Roche. And Roche could respawn in 7 seconds. We'll see what the timer is. I mean, 60 seconds of no Dubu. If it spawns the next 30 seconds and they see it...
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, literal instant spawn, basically.
Yeah, it's up.
Holy crap. So this definitely favors EG if they scout it.
As was pointed out there, Puck sitting with the Psychic Headband makes the coil break really easy for him to set up onto.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good point, Cinderin.
Thank you, Saberlight.
Speaking of Saberlight, I think the fact that you guys brought up Fly as the potential, I mean, the coach, I mean, what else would he be than coach of TSM?
That was Saberlight.
Yeah, the Saberlight's clone that looks nothing like it. It's one of the worst clones I've ever seen. It defeats the entire purpose of cloning. Is this is going to be the third Roshan of the game. TSM not going to get there in time. So that is Aegis on Arteezy. Abed with the Refresher Shard.
Oh, Arteezy's going to immediately put it to use, maybe.
Yeah, well, they're going to see that he has it. I don't know how much they want to expend here. Wukong's command. Okay, that is life number 1. Life number 2 is going to be pretty short here as well. And there it goes. Static Storm to try to buy him some save. Might be a little bit too early, though. A couple BKBs pop from TSM. Blink out immediately from Arteezy. That is a... We'll see if it's a wasted Aegis if they end up fighting again here, but feels like a wasted Aegis.
So determined there. That was a very quick play from TSM. They didn't hesitate for a moment. Grabbing those two. And Arteezy should be happy that he gets to blink out. That was very close to being a Crypt Swarm on top of him when he respawned the second time. If that is right on top of him, he should not be able to blink out of the Aegis respawn, more than likely, and then he would have died a third time.
Is that how it works?
That is the price you pay, yeah. I mean, I guess technically if you frame Perfect Blink or something, I think maybe you can get out with a spell on top of you.
Can
but
he not shift blink? Isn't that frame perfect?
I think about it this way. You need to click it exactly how your hero is facing, right? Or there's a slight bit of turn rate.
Yeah.
I think if there's a Shiva literally on top of you and you respawn from Aegis, I don't know if it's possible to blink even if you do it perfectly. Maybe it is.
Okay.
If you have literally 0 degrees of turning.
Oh, Arteezy is going to jump in now that he has that second life to work with. Again, the Walrus Punch on top of Tomato as well. He's getting extremely low and dies. 90 seconds, no buyback whatsoever. And they're going to focus now on Saberlight. And that is going to be the death of him as well. A great turnaround here from EG. They just wait for that reincarnate cooldown and just pounce. That's a triple kill for Nightfall. And with no buybacks, this is probably Rax.
If EG knew this, they might actually go to try to end the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Brawl can do a lot of work here with just poking and prodding. But he needs to be careful. He can get Axe coiled by Puck, who also has that refresher shard.
He has these remnants out, which, by the way, with that shard, I believe do damage over time.
They do 45 damage per second, I think it is.
It's not that much. I thought it would
Slowly but steadily killing the wave.
Yeah, that's something. With the fortification to come as well, so this will slow things down. Just has to buy 40 seconds. And of course, EG has no idea if these buybacks are ready or not.
Yeah.
So they're playing it somewhat cautiously. But
Arteezy with the flicker. Arteezy with the reincarnation.
Wait, I just heard a cheese.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I just heard it. Did he pop it on Nightfall? I guess so. Either way, that's a full set of racks in favor of EG. They're going to continue on. Now they have a decent idea that there's no buyback. And even if they did, probably don't want to use it with 9 seconds left. But either way, EG going to play this safe.
Yeah, that's a big grab there. Getting a full lane, but nothing more than that. So
here's the cheese.
Oh, he died. So he died in like max radius of the fire remnant on the ground, I think. It was the burn from that got him when he was toggling.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. Reincarnation's up in 20 seconds, and EG will look to re-go perhaps. If they do find a good fight here, I mean, they still have the advantage that they're sitting around with the refresher shard, right? Mm-hmm. That is currently on Arteezy to give him another life.
Okay.
A moment ago it was on Brood, and before that it was on Puck. Yeah, so maybe they're just playing hot potato. Arteezy is it right now.
I feel like it is kind of a good thing in this regard.
It is.
That's the opposite of the game.
Arteezy isn't it right now.
Yeah, they gave it up again?
No, but you said it was a bad thing, a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was very advanced.
All right, Bryle, level 26 now, goes for the 2 sleight of fist charges.
What do you think about the Wind Waker pickup? I guess he just wants to get out of coil.
Yeah.
It obviously makes sense. I'm just wondering if that is worth it. It's a very expensive item. Maybe he has to. It's possible he just has to.
Well, I'm not the expert here, Cinder, but between him and Tomato, very defensive builds, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're lacking just a little bit of damage right now, where if Tomato went for like a daedalus, then these fights would theoretically look a little bit different if they're going to expend that much gold on the Wind Waker, which is a good item for sure this game.
Yeah, the downside is if Puck does get that refresher shard back in his inventory, then you can dodge it once, but not twice.
Right, then you get a refresher to double Wind Waker.
Yep.
You see?
Well, it is queued up, you're right.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But probably not specifically for that. It's just a standard item for Ember to go in when you go magic build. You refresh all of your fire remnants, so you get that 5 extra burst. It's insane.
Well, TSM is full team smoked now, and that is an arcane rune on Ember, which pretty disgusting stuff. Well, what's the cooldown on Wind Waker now? 12.6 seconds. He could use it twice potentially, depending on how fast the coils are used.
Yeah. Well, so far it's only 1 coil because they're keeping the refresher shard on Arteezy for now.
Oh, true. Well, he can Wind Waker on the top of Arteezy's dead body the second time then.
Is that the best teabagging in Dota?
It's pretty good. If you could high five during a Wind Waker, that would be the teabag essential, I think.
Right.
But yeah, there's no real teabagging in Dota. Maybe that's something we can add in the next patch.
We have sprays.
Sprays need an upgrade, let's be real.
Taunts.
Not really taunts, though.
Crystal Maiden's taunt.
That one's good.
Crit trying to deward. It's now successful with the kinetic fields. A pretty tense moment. It's a 6k lead for EG, but this is still honestly a very close game.
Oh.
It's a very dead monkey.
Yep.
No buyback.
60 seconds, you're right. How close is he, though? Oh, he's not even remotely close. He must have just bought...
He bought BKB. He's out there all alone. No, it didn't buy BKB. That's 7 seconds. Scratch that. But he's out there all alone dewarding. I feel like that's a very dangerous proposition. You kind of want your teammates to be a part of that move if you do want to try to reclaim that area. Going there alone is...
Right. I mean, what's the
Very
play for
dangerous.
TSM? Because, like, once Moon Meander comes back up, what do they need to do? Because right now, it feels like they're resigned to their base, and EG are just starving them out of the map resources, because this lead is just growing little by little.
I think they're going to aim to get to Roche for the next one, probably. Timato opting to sell his Dragon Lance now to be able to afford Butterfly for the next fight. So he's committed. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have access to the secret shop, so he can't really get his item.
Okay, so he did not go for the Hurricane.
No, he gave up on the Pike. Okay. I also feel like you said, it's just too defensive, right? Did he get his... Wait, it's Ember's courier flying around now. And Tomato. Okay, they're going on quite the mission.
Yep.
Mission accomplished for first courier.
All right. Will Ember's Courier make it as well? Has the plate mail on it right now. It is the Chicken Chaser Courier with the rocket launcher applied. Let's keep a tab on that. Yep,
Wait,
outside the terrain now.
What's it doing out here, actually?
Is he going for Shivas? What does he have?
He's queuing up Refresher, but he
Refresher.
can't afford the Perseverances.
Yeah, he has the plate
Oh, he
mail
wants
on
to
the
sell
courier.
the plate mail and buy it, I think. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So gave up on his Shivas for that.
Yeah. I mean,
They're really-
I like this that they're at least recalibrating like the thought process on like what the itemization should be. A lot of teams will just like pick something and never change it, you know?
Yeah.
Thank-
But at
we
the
got
same time,
Chicken
it is
Chaser
also a
cam
major
here.
loss. Like, look how much gold they lost.
Yeah.
They were 6k behind a moment ago, and now they ended up selling a couple of items. They sold a plate mail that's minus 700. They sold a Dragon Lance that's minus 950, I think. So,
But now they feel like they've hit their power spike. They got the
That's true.
Refresher,
There's a time.
Ember. They have Tomato with Daedalus. Or not Daedalus, but Butterfly. Okay,
Yep.
so he didn't go for the Daedalus first. So Chrysalis into Butterfly.
Are scanning.
yeah, if they find this angle, this could be big. Moon Meander is getting some decent information here.
Yeah, but they've been scanned. So EG are well aware of the situation here. And, I mean, this game is actually so tense. This is going to be the fourth Roche relatively soon. We'll know in about 30 seconds when that will be up. And I would think that that is the Roche that will end the game.
More than likely. And it could go either way. Like, TSM can win this fight and suddenly snowball the
Yeah,
game.
I don't feel like this 13k lead is... I don't think it's that much of a lead for EG. They're definitely in the driver's seat, but it's like an old man driving. You never know what's going to happen. There's the Roche cam.
Okay. Thank you.
Another
Oh, hello.
instance. What? What is going on? Super fast again.
Oh, this EG aren't ready.
No, they're not. Exorcism is popped. TSM going for the old Roshan number 4.
have
This has
no
Ag,
idea.
Refresher Shard, Cheese, and Aegis.
They lack the information.
They lack a lot of information.
Oh, they're going to be kicking themselves.
I mean, they were not expecting a second Roshan to spawn that fast.
Oof.
Look at these siege units, though, doing plenty of damage to this bottom racks, but it will be saved, I would assume, as Bryle. Doesn't really
That's
do
a
that much
real
damage to
feels
them.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I'll just pretend to understand that reference. So, Aghanim Scepter was...
Luna's?
Okay, Luna, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of good targets. Can obviously just toss them on the ground, but you can give it to Monkey King, you can give it to Ember. Ember's Spirit Bomb right now is wild. You give him 10 Remnants and Eclipse.
Yeah,
It's something.
that is pretty sick.
EG still have the big advantage of map control, though. They're just going to try to keep containing TSM, but it's just a matter of time before you would imagine they try to find an opening.
I mean, having to deal with 2 refreshers is pretty tough. Pretty tough indeed. Bryle? I mean, really what they can do, the big item pickup from EG is the Aghanim Scepter on Jerax.
Yeah.
Being able to stop any BKBs or the Wind Waker or whatever the case may be. If you just get that kill, that could just be the game.
That's huge for sure. If you can Static Storm Bryle, that's game-winning material, but that's a lot of ifs because it's an Ember with a million jumps and a BKB.
EG trying to go high ground. Saberlight pops the Shivas.
Okay, they're committing for this.
Crit. He's going to get off the snowball with the Walrus Punch as well. They force out the BKB of Saberlight. Meanwhile, Bryle just decimating Jerax. That's 1 kill for him. Pops the Refresher. Getting to the other side inside the Wukong's command. They're going to focus down Abed. Big kill for TSM. Abed does have the buyback. Crit. Walking all over the terrain. Spider legs for the win.
Actually got out.
Indeed.
Didn't guess the right pathing there, Bryle. So, all All right, they're somehow getting out with only 2 deaths. Honestly, out of all moments EG could have chosen to push, I'm really surprised this is the one they pick, right? Now you elect to go for it after the enemy team has Aegis, Refresher Shard, and Cheese, right? The Cheese is in the backpack of Luna currently. And you just run up to the tower with Arteezy and expect to get that. I mean, it's easy for us to say, because they don't really have the same, you know, access to numbers as we do or whatever, but from my perspective, that was a little bit reckless. And maybe this was the try they should have done before the Roche spawned, if this was what they wanted, right? Could have done it 3 minutes ago.
Exorcism #1 for Saberlight. They're going to try to force out this buyback from Abed, but either way, they don't have Jerax for another 20 seconds. So they might have to give up this set of barracks at the very least. That'll even things up for that lane at least.
Luna DP are just so good at this stuff.
Indeed. Let's see if they transition for a little bit more. So full set of racks as Tomato waddles his way over to the top lane. So 22 seconds for Abed. Do they buy back? Doesn't look like it. The fortification's going to come up.
The tower will be down though, so Luna can get the second lane.
Well, still 10 seconds. They might try to go in a little bit early just to buy just a little bit of time here. Ray Fire Blast from Arteezy. He's going to flicker it off. And that is the tower down, and it looks like TSM are going to reset. Although Arteezy really wants to go. Here's that Swift Blink on top of the speed buff he gets from Disruptor as well. He is super fast.
Yep, they Wind Waker Tomato there so he can't get glimpsed. And then when he does get glimpsed afterwards is really short. Just super heads up play from Bryle to identify that that was going to come out from EG. Really good stuff.
And we have a Stormcraft. I'm not sure if he's going to keep that, but that's so many defensive things they have now.
He's keeping Ascetic Cap.
Yeah, Aesthetics Cap is the safest. You don't need to click anything. So almost 3k gold have been farmed of these spiders. Not too shabby.
That's their lead, basically.
Yep, true. Of course, their lead doesn't take into account the Aegis and Cheese and Refresher Shard still, right? Arteezy jumps in. Balance tried to kind of counteract this for now. He's going to get his first life taken if he's not careful. We'll be able to get back to base, though, and Tomato focusing on the barracks. Has the Satanic, has Aegis for another 30 seconds. Gets sheeped. But I think EG are going to have to give up this set of barracks. Or maybe not. Arteezy is going to jump in with that BKB. Meanwhile, we see the Wukong's command on the sideline.
Oh, they found
Ember
Bryle!
Spirit is dead. Bryle has to buy back into the game. Will fly back in with the remnants and try to focus somebody else down. Arteezy's first life complete. Abed does not have coil anymore. Tomato really wants to Satanic something, but I guess the Aegis is going to expire here relatively short. Let's see if EG is keeping tabs on that timer. Another 3 seconds.
He had to BKB that glimpse or he would have died.
TSM. Yeah, I think they're going to have to reset. Now that the BKB is down, they have to be relatively careful. Ember Spirit jumping in. Brawl pops the BKB. Destroys Tusk. Crit. Has to buy back into the game. There's the Eclipse from afar. The Aghanim Scepter. Nightfall takes the most loosened beams. But he's still going to be safe as Arteezy. They're going to try to focus him down, but it probably has buyback to work with. So much damage coming out of Ember Spirit and Saberlight together. They'll find Abed, who buys back into the game finally. So preserving that from earlier ends up paying off. And EG technically defend this top lane. It was quite expensive, though. Now they're down 8k.
Yeah, the buybacks are everything now, and EG only have the Brood one left in the tank. But Bryle losing his does open up one avenue of victory here. If they could somehow catch him again, yeah, that's a good damage breakdown. That's a lot of DPS. Okay.
4,000 in one sleight of fist. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I think that this is a game. We have a candidate, Cinderin.
For tier 5 items?
Why do you have to finish my sentence?
We do, indeed. Because you're very predictable, because it's literally the only thing that brings you joy in Dota nowadays is tier 5 items.
Tier 5 items. I can't wait.
You love tier 5 items and Tinker games and long walks on the beach.
All right, the Tinker
with
thing,
Arc Warden.
Tinker was a lie. That's not a thing. Don't paint me out to be something I'm not, okay?
You love playing Pudge.
That's true.
With a 40% win rate.
45?
Oh, all right.
God, you're the worst.
That's decent. It's better than my PL win rate.
That's good to know, Cinderin.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So 6k lead for TSM. The next Roshan may spawn in 1 minute and 20 seconds. We'll see if it's instant or not. I feel like these fights seem to be just revolved around. They're like in 6-minute increments or 8-minute increments for each Roche.
Yeah. it's a huge advantage for TSM if this Roche spawns while EG have 4 buybacks on cooldown, right? The only player they have to be careful of not dying on is Bryle, and he's bought an Eon Disc to try to protect himself. So there's no nullifier on EG, so they can't break that Eon Disc at all. And that means he just needs to outlive the Ag Static Storm somehow, and he can get out with Wind Waker, with BKB, Remnants, all the good stuff. Monkey King.
Oh my god!
He literally
He
flew
hit him
through a
in
sword.
mid-air. That is some fast reaction time from that Skeleton King. Holy jeez. If they try to go, okay, they're gonna find Moonmeander on the tree. He is gonna die here.
Buyback
as
ready.
the buyback. And we have 3 BKBs popped instantly. Kinetic Field's gonna keep Nightfall in the vicinity here. Looks like they'll take out Arteezy's first life. That's a buyback onto Dubu as well, but the Eclipse to follow. Arteezy is mega dead, but he is one of the few members of EG that does have buyback still. Abed is not one of those though, but he's able to Illusory Orb to his base. As we see the Exorcism getting close to finishing here. We'll see if EG want to fight in between that, because I do believe the Refresher Shard was already consumed, right?
Yeah, I think so. They don't have that anymore. Abed has
now-
Refresher Orb, but that's on cooldown.
So now fighting around the Exorcism cooldown is going to be pretty important. Roshan is going to spawn in 15 seconds, so it's not instant, but a very fast Roche again. It's like the game doesn't want tier 5 items to happen, Synderen.
Yep. Wise
Even
choice,
please.
Mr. Game.
All right, Roshan. Number 5?
Would you believe it?
I
It's an
think-
instant respawn again just when we get the camera on him.
Wow, crazy. That's pretty crazy, actually.
All right. Roche is in trouble.
Yep, and I don't know if EG can fight into this.
They
don't
are
have
not
Static
intending
Storm.
to. They are all the way down bottom, and they're showing heroes, so this is free.
So again, we're gonna see Aegis, we're gonna see Cheese, Refresher Shard, and Aghanim Scepter. Who does not have Ags right now? I mean, you could give it to Ember so you can open up a slot, I suppose. Dubu's is kind of eh. Saberlights is kind of eh.
They put the Aegis on Timato. I actually thought they were going to put it on Bryle when he doesn't have buyback. This avenue to victory for EG still remains now. 3.5 minutes,
Right.
cooldown on buyback, and they bought a nullifier on Brood. So Bryle can die in a coil, and that's
Yeah,
slightly
have to be careful.
concerning.
Saberlight with the Shivas, crit, Force Staff to safety. Oh, nice Searing Chains onto 2, but the instant silence. Nullifier, in fact, used on Saberlight. He is done. 90 seconds, does have buyback though. Monkey King stuck inside the kinetic field, dies shortly after. Ember Spirit is dead. Is that GG? Tomato, BKB TPs, but EG have the numbers, 5 versus 2. The buyback surely will come from Saberlight.
Oh
Wow.
dear. Oh dear. And that was even without the nullifier, right? They nullified the DP.
Yeah.
So they just killed Bryle with Axe Static Storm.
3 minutes left
the
on
disc.
his buyback. They should know this. I feel like going Throne is not that crazy of an idea. They're going to get that second rack just as a collateral, but now they go for the buildings. Drums are popped, Tomato. They're going to have to go in pretty soon here. There's the buyback for Saberlight. Does have Exorcism now. EG playing it careful. I'm not sure if they've actually kept track of this buyback situation, but they're going to go for the easy, or the conservative play, I should say, which is to get the mega creeps. But still, they have so much time to just continue on.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
That is mega creeps now in EG's favor, and TSM, big blunder here if they end up losing this game. Of course, it is a best of 5, so plenty of time to bring this back. Now the fight is in. Static Storm onto 2, and they are all dead. That is just the Aegis, but they're just going to focus the racks. EG are going to take game 1 in crazy-ass fashion. A huge Eclipse comes out from Tomato, but if, oh my god, look at the... Nightfall takes every single beam. Arteezy pops the BKB, though, focusing on the Ancient. Objective-based gaming for EG. This was one of the craziest games I've seen in quite a while. I feel like either team could have or should have won, but that Aegis, I don't know, Synderen.
7 flags, gold graph for that game.
Yeah, that graph is...
It's literally up and down and up and down. That is a
Did you
roller
say
coaster of a
7
graph.
or 6?
Is it 6?
flags.
It's 7 flags now because we've added a new one. I don't know if you've heard about it, but there's a new theme park that opened recently.
Synderen, your joke fell flat like right at the beginning, and you're trying to continue it on, and I was gonna just go with the flow, but now you're just making it more awkward.
What an awesome game. Let's go to a break.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
I'ma say it with my chest now. I got you figured out. It's something that you got, babe. It has me going wild. It's the way you say my name, the way you touch my face. It's like our bodies move so easily. Like a movie, like a dream. A dose of dopamine. More than ecstasy between you and me. Like a movie, like a dream. A dose of dopamine. More than ecstasy between you and me. Take me there like nobody else. It's so unfair. I get you all to myself. But I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got you singing like a choir boy. I'll take you back to church. Won't stop until you say so. I like the roles reversed. It's the way you say your name, the way you touch your face. It's like our bodies move so easily. Like a movie, like a dream. A dose of dopamine. More than ecstasy between you and me. Like a movie, like a dream. A dose of dopamine. More than ecstasy between you and me. Take me there like nobody else. It's so unfair. I get you all to myself. But I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take me there like nobody else. It's so unfair. I get you all to myself. I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Find out if you find out if you I can see the look in your eye. Go up.
Ooh, that is some hot chili you're serving up down there, is what I would say if I was playing against evil geniuses. That was a close game. That was a nail biter. Almost, it was 5 Roches, Sind?
5.
5.
Yeah.
5 Roches. Up and
I'll
down.
take your word for it.
7 flags, whatever that means, and a partridge and a pear tree. Hell of a game. Both teams should be proud of the performance that they brought, but I think Evil Geniuses should be a little bit more proud with this fight. This was the fight that was the nail biter. I mean, 2-hero root on Ember Spirit. I think, did Ember Spirit's Eon Disc get muted or something? Why did he die instantly?
No, so he's in the Ag Static Storm.
Yeah.
So even though it procs, he can't cast anything.
Oh, so it
And
does proc,
Yeah, so it procs his Aeon Disc, right? But
if it's muted. That was
Right.
my question.
right, it does proc, but
okay.
he still can't cast anything because he's still in the Static Storm.
Right,
So
he's
he's
still
consistently doomed. And then the moment he got out of the Static Storm, the coil snapped.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
placed- so you're gonna see it here. We'll do this in slow mo, right? So look,
Deep
so
Peak gets
here,
sliced.
here it's
Oh,
procced.
it
He's
procs.
in the storm. He walks out of the storm. Here breaks the silence. Coil snaps right
Ooh.
there, and then he gets glimpsed back into the storm.
Brief
He
nightmare.
died. Meanwhile, even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of those moments that's just amazing to see that EG just go for it, right? I criticized their push earlier. I felt like that one was a little bit questionable, but this one obviously worked out super well, even fighting into Aegis. I think what EG identified was that, wait, they just gave the Aegis to Luna,
Yeah.
and Ember doesn't have buyback. If we find this guy and jump in and kill him, we win the game. And they made that read and went for it. I'm still surprised TSM gave that Aegis to the Luna, though. Like, why does that not go on Ember? Luna has buyback gold. You're in a super late game scenario. I feel like that could have gone differently.
I think they got not overexcited, but they felt really confident after that last Roshan, and they actually chased EG to that spot, right? So it wasn't even, they kind of wanted to catch them off guard, and they did a little bit with that two-man searing chains, but it just didn't go, like, I guess they didn't really account for how quickly that Ember could die, right? So I don't know, it's really hard to say, but all I can say for now is if that's the quality of gameplay that we're going to see out of these finals, that is ridiculous. That was so back and forth.
It's easily the best game of the tournament.
Easily.
Not even close.
And
So.
if we have potentially 4 more games of this, NA Dodo.
It's in a
Very
good
good.
spot.
Gonna be done at 6 or 7 a.m.
It is.
We will be here late, but it's a good way to cap off the patch at least.
Yeah, and funnily enough, the team that got more Roshans was the team that lost, right?
Yeah.
It was 5 Roshans. 3 of them went to TSM, 2 went to EG, and they actually lost after that last Rosh. But I don't. So much happened that game that I don't really know where to start. But I think TSM's saving rate that. I can't speak anymore. I'm so tired.
You're so excited is what
No,
you
I'm
mean.
not
It was an
excited.
amazing game.
Yes. Their saving grace was when that Roshan spawned, when they were so close to it, and they were just able to sneak it, and it just gave them an in back into the game. So,
Yeah, the sneak there was super
Yeah.
good. It's a game of teams taking really big, like high risk, high reward moments, right? They go and hope that the Roche respawns. It does. They grab it while EG are in control of the map. Then EG take this. It's not even a Hail Mary play, really. It's just a calculated risk. They know this can go wrong. It can go right. We know what we're aiming for, and they execute. So, like, again, it's just it's got to be weird for TSM to play this team 2 days ago, and now it's like they got like 3 times as good in 2 days. That's kind of
But-
bizarre, right?
maybe they were always that good
They're
because
just pretending.
No,
Hiding their power levels.
they just had a bad first day. But
Right.
when we did have that interview with Crit yesterday, he said that they really think that they're way better than that, and they were their own worst enemy in that day one.
Absolutely.
But as far as that game goes, I feel like we could talk forever about how back and forth it was. But just to take it back down to basics, EG looked so dominant in that laning phase again.
Yeah.
Right? It was so oppressive, and they couldn't even get to the point where they could fight around the Death Prophet because the BKB came so late, right? Because Tusk was so on point going on that DP and trying to blow her up before they could even have an in into that early game. And I think that's just the essence of why the game grew so complicated for TSM, just how oppressive EG were again. So, top form.
Well, friends, let us skirmish. I want a game number 2, maybe even 4 more after this one. Evil Geniuses versus TSM FTX after the break. Friends! Friends!
Go,
TSM FTX, unfortunately, now lose. Oh no, it wasn't 100% win rate anymore. Where were we at? We were at 80%. Oh, we're slipping on down into the trenches of North America, but it's okay. They've got good company there. They'll be joined with Evil Geniuses as they have lost game number 1, and now into game number 2. Is there very much to reevaluate as we go into the draft?
Caster, start the game.
Caster, start the game! Exclamation point! Start game in chat. Oh my god, you guys did it.
Wonderful. Is there a lot to revise? I don't know. Like, after a game like that, I think neither team should really make major adjustments. They played super well. They had their strategies. Both teams executed. They knew what was up, so...
But they are targeting Puck now.
They're gonna ban out the Puck. It was annoying.
Undying's turn to pick.
And EG will grab the Snapfire this time.
Undying's turn to pick.
Ooh, and TSM was preloading a Storm Denial. Nice.
Mars.
So, because you're saying no IO because the Bane and the Storm Spirit discourage an IO?
I think the Mars is higher value for EG, probably. But we'll see. They might be thinking twice because they feel like this is a setup or something. Like, Mars against Storm can be tricky. I still think it's... For the rest of the lineup, it's probably good value.
It's interesting that TSM just take EG's first 2 that they've opened up with so many times and decided to play it themselves. And we've seen Bryle play an excellent Storm Spirit.
Right?
This is different.
Interesting. So, part of the reason they might have decided not to go Mars is the Storm being there into bans. So if you were to pick Mars, then the enemy team can start banning out some of the heroes Mars wants to play with, and they can find a carry relatively early on in their strategy to place against Nightfall. So, not going to be the case. We get an Invoker for Abed. According to Tsunami, his best hero.
That was what I claimed.
Was it actually?
No, it wasn't. I said that Puck was. You guys said Storm.
Yeah, someone brought up Invoker. It was you.
I brought it up just because we were memeing and we were listing like every single mid hero.
Well,
but
apparently it's not a meme, Tsunami.
it's
Here
not.
it is.
Here it is. In the flesh and first phase, because they seem to always give Abed 0 first phase.
This versatility coming out of EG is actually really nice to watch recently. But, okay, so the merits of Invoker, assuming it is going to be a Quaslex Invoker, because you don't usually go Exort unless it's a perfect game for it and you have Sunstrike set up on side lanes. Quaslex Invoker does very well versus Storm on lane. They're both going to farm, right? But he can match his rotations very well, and if he ever gets caught in an EMP, that spells death in the early game.
And time again, you guys are always emphasizing to me the importance of long-range disable versus Fiend Script. Well, Tornado can reach from like 5 screens away.
Yeah, Tornado's very good against Bane. Bane also sucks when it gets cold snapped. You just can't really do anything.
Oh, I've seen many a nightmare with them getting their little four limbs almost off.
Cold snap earn, and you're just like, oh well.
And speaking of Cold Snap, it's not just Cold Snap earn, it's Cold Snap Little Shredder.
Yep.
And we have seen Crit and Abed play together for most of this tournament, actually. So this is going to be a very potent kill combination. Because we're going to see the Vessel come out of Invoker and the Solar Crest come out of Snap.
Also,
Going to be a huge damage output.
Effie, you and I were mentioning this in the green room. Bryle has been out of control this tournament.
Oh my goodness.
That was a long ass game that we just watched. Bryle smashed Abed mid.
Yep.
He has been so
5 seconds.
good. He has evolved so much as a player throughout the entire season up until this point.
I mean, he was holding a candle to Quinn, shut him down. And now against Abed too, Bryle, North American mid is in a very exciting lane to be watching right now.
And it's not even just in terms of lane mechanics, it's also just rotations. Because a lot of times, the player salvaging a weaker early game situation for TSM has been Bryle with his rotations.
Moving forward toward the bans, indeed, the Mars gets banned out. TSM FTX not going to let EG get their hands on that teamfight duo. And they ban out Arteezy's Wraith King, which apparently is starting to get a lot of critical acclaim. The public at large is a big fan of Arteezy Wraith King. And they'll get a duo. What?
It's nice to watch because not only is it a hero that can scale very well into the late game, but it's a hero that enables him to not just sit back and farm for the entire game, right?
You mean it disables him from being able to farm all game because he wants to?
No, he does like that. Where did this rep come from? Because
that's all I see. I see this Naga Siren, I see this Terrorblade, I see him in the jungle all day.
But that's what happens when you have Naga and Terrorblade, right? But when you have a Wraith King, you can actually rotate around the map and play with your team early on, especially if you're going for the Armlet Deso build, which is all the rage right now.
This is such a good Spirit Breaker game.
We finally see it in action.
Finally, we see a late pick Spirit Breaker that is really good.
And in EG's hands, because you keep saying that you don't really feel that Spirit Breaker's an EG hero.
But in this game, I really think it's amazing in this case. I'm assuming it's going to be played by Nightfall in the offlane. And what you get here is you get a reliable way to get on top of Bane and Mirana. Mirana hates this matchup because you can't ever leap away. You're always going to get connected on. For Storm Spirit, you can counterplay it by using Ball Lightning through the charge, but you need to see it coming. You need to react fast. And you need to not be caught by literally anything beforehand. Any silence, any stun. Spirit Breaker adds another 4 seconds to that with a charge Nether Strike combo. So I love the pick here. I think it's really, really good under these circumstances. And just, again, EG they're pulling something new out in this game, out of the bag, and it's good. I really like the adjustments they've made. This looks super stable.
And
Morphling? Okay.
yeah, not just that, you're also pairing the Spirit Breaker with Grimstroke, which is such an overpowered combination, right? Not only is Inkswell such a strong tool in enabling him, you also have the double Nether Strike with the Soulbind. So that's really cool. Also, the status resist from Bulldoze makes it so insufferable for Bane to play against this hero. Even if you can catch him mid-charge, he's gonna have Bulldoze on. If you Nightmare, it's gonna come off. If you grip him, it's gonna last all of what? A second and a half? Less.
I think, unless I'm mistaken here, I think Nether Strike only works on one target. It's a really weird interaction, but it's because when two heroes are soulbound,
I'll look it up.
if Spirit Breaker casts ulti on one, he will jump to the other one, right?
That's how
Because
some of the...
It replicates the spell cast on both heroes, but because the Greater Bash is tied to a hero's positioning, he only Greater Bashes the second one, which is actually really counterintuitive. So when you're playing Spirit Breaker against Soulbind, you want to ulti the guy you don't want to bash. It's really weird, but unless this has been fixed, I think that's how it at least worked
Okay,
recently.
secondary heroes get targeted by Nether Strike and Static Link.
Yeah,
So it's the person you don't want to hit. You won't hit both of them, though.
yeah.
Although in
It's
terms
interesting
of...
it works that way with Static Link, actually.
Yeah, in terms of merits of Spirit Breaker, like you were mentioning, Effie, Bulldoze, well, now with that as a Morphling, Morphling is more than happy to take advantage of that Bulldoze himself.
So unless charge works the same way with Soulbind as well, you can... Soulbind does set up for a 2-hero charge.
It only hits on one, I think.
Yeah, but if you charge to the secondary target through... Does that make sense? They're bound together, so they're kind of in a line, right?
Right, so it's easier
you
to hit them both.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, yeah.
charge the later target and you can stun
Yeah.
both.
Absolutely.
But I
It's-
think
it's very difficult to
Yeah,
work.
Inkswell as a tool to just enable Spirit Breaker, I think is so strong.
This hero combination is incredible, for sure.
Especially with Shard on Grimstroke.
It's also... A part of it is also what some heroes can do against Spirit Breaker is between, like, depending on what kind of hero you are and what kind of items you have, sometimes you can react, but you can also be silenced as part of the combo, right? Because Grimstroke adds that to the mix. So let's say you're a hero with Yules against Spirit Breaker. When Spirit Breaker charges you, a lot of the time you will Yule the Spirit Breaker and try to reset, but then if you get silenced by Grimstroke, you can't Yule yourself off of that silence, and then you can get Nether Struck, right? So it's like there's a lot of like small finicky things these heroes can do together that makes it really challenging to play against. Also love Spirit Breaker with Invoker.
Yeah,
If he goes Extort here,
That's what I was going to comment on. We did see in Division 2 was a Team Entity in Europe West. They played a lot of Invoker in conjunction with Spirit Breaker, and they actually played an Exort Invoker on Stormstormer because that's his signature. But they used Spirit Breaker as a means to just enable the Sunstrike, because once that bash is level 4 and you charge it once, that's enough to set up for the Sunstrike. And they did a lot of rotations around the game that way. But in spite of that, I still want to see a QW Evoker here just so we can build the vessel into the Morphling that was just picked. It's just become so much more valuable, in my opinion.
do you think there's a merit into going Vessel on Spirit Breaker and then Invoker buys Exort items? Or do you still think it's better regardless to get Quaswex and then in the Spirit Breaker maybe goes like something like BKB or Shadowblade? Shadowblade is really good against Storm.
I would
So-
prefer the Quaswex Invoker, but that is an alternate approach that they could look to do. But I just feel like it has so many merits versus Storm as well, and the Bane like we talked about before.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I really like Quaswex as well. EMP is amazing against Morph.
Remaining.
Looking for a Saberlight hero. I mean, he did pretty good on the Death Prophet.
Wait, we didn't even look at... Is that a TA?
That's
Yep,
TAs
it's a TA.
for Arteezy.
My eyes are malfunctioning.
This EG lineup is
Yeah.
very, very good.
So,
opinion.
so far, it doesn't feel like there's a threat to TA on lane for her to have a weak lane, right? She's going to do really well. Also, paired up with Snapfire, they have an easy way to take an early Roche. right? And if they take that early Roche and they start their Snowball with the Spirit Breaker and Grimstroke combo, just running around charging people Inksfeld, they can just play a super oppressive and aggressive game like we've seen them do today. Like, this fits the bill for what they want to do really well. The only differences is in Heroes that they maybe conceded a little bit of their lane strength. Just because Spirit Breaker, not a lane dominator,
Brood.
out CS anyone.
That's what I was thinking, but against Spirit Breaker, doesn't it suck?
It probably wasn't good enough. It was just the one that came to mind.
Darkseer, last pick. What is it particularly doing strong here?
So Ion Shell is very good against TA Refraction.
Okay.
That's one thing. They can just put it on whoever's going to go on her early on. So far, there's not the best Ion Shelled target on his team, but you can put it on Bryle. Bryle can get on top of the TA, and that's the way to deal with her.
Once upon a time, Sind, I'll let you answer this question before you have to leave. Wasn't there, like, Ion Shell had to be, like, some level to pop Refraction instances? Or am I misremembering?
Yes, that's correct.
Is that still? Okay.
I can hear Sunstan
Cackling.
maniacally laughing. I really can't see that. My eyes are strained. I cannot look at Heroes.
It's okay. I can recap for them. Snapfire. I don't know what the second one is, but there are a lot of great heroes. Which team? Vinvoker. Which one do you prefer?
There aren't the best. I like EG's draft here a lot.
Okay.
A lot. I think the Darkseer, yes, it does make sense as a tool to kill the TA, but it doesn't really feel like he's enabling that many of his cores. Yeah, you can Ion Shell and Surge your Morph and your Storm Spirit, but the wall too is not that high value, right? If you're picking it to just counter the TA, it may not do enough, but hopefully I can be proven wrong because we want to see another nail biter just like the last ones.
Oh yeah, you really sound convinced. You really want to see a nail biter. I want to see it too. Game number 2, Evil Geniuses Quincy Crew with Sunsfam and Cinderin.
Quincy Crew? What? There's no Quincy Crew here. Tsunami. Sunsfan
Wishful
here
thinking.
with-
He's a big fan of KBBQ.
He's been, KBBQ has been on the mind, understandable. He's a very cuddly man, and it's also delicious food. But it is EG versus TSM, which formerly Undying. Of course, their logo has not changed, but don't worry, production's going to have a little hack there, Cinderin.
Yeah.
Little hot fix to the Dota 2 client. Game number 2, EG. I mean, let me ask you this. So TSM, they have shown a lot of resiliency.
Yeah.
Right.
Resilience.
Resiliency?
Resilience.
The
Please
crickets were perfect. They're showing a lot of resilience. God, being corrected on English from a non-English speaker like yourself. Anyway, after a loss like that, what kind of effect do you think it's going to have on TSM? Because they have very good mental, right? That's what I take away from them.
I definitely don't think they're too phased by the last game loss because I think it was very clear to them that it was a close game and they did a lot of things very right. They had one moment in the end that they, kind of dropped the ball, you could argue, but it was more of EG's excellent setup than TSM making a blatant huge error, in my opinion. But this time around, I feel like EG just got off to the better start or the better setup here with the draft compared to last game. Last game, I really liked both teams' drafts. This time, I'm siding EG a little bit more because I feel like the execution that it takes from TSM here is kind of tricky to pull off. The Darkseer seemed like a, last ditch pick, almost like what was left that Saberlight wanted to play there. I understand the synergy with Vacuum into, Ball Lightning, for example. You can put the Ion Shell on the Storm like we covered on the panel, but it's not like an obvious Darkseer game by any means in terms of combo.
Yeah, I mean, the wall, it doesn't look particularly good this game, right? Like, typically when you see the wall, I mean, for the Darkseer, back in the day, Darkseer was picked literally every game. So I can see a lot of damage being applied. I mean, the Ion Shell is definitely good against Refraction, so laning-wise, this does make sense, but when you get to the mid to late game, the wall is There's no, like, illusion-based heroes. TA doesn't make the best illusions in general, because a lot of her damage is relying on Refraction. We'll see how good of a start TSM is able to get off of, because... Yeah, I mean, they came out as a favorite. Remember, they 2-0'd EG. They've won the last 4 in a row before this last game, and that game was pretty heartbreaking. I mean, that looked like TSM had it in their grasp, and just a couple mistakes.
And in all fairness, so did EG, right? EG had a big lead in that game. They were like 9K up, and then they dropped to 2. So both teams had their fair share of, turnarounds. Yeah, I think one really big upside to the Darkseer pick here is how easy his lane is going to be, relatively speaking. So even if it's not the best Darkseer game in terms of combos, if the hero is farmed, it's still a very formidable hero in a lot of situations. So it should be okay without being excellent. And again, I think maybe TSM were trying to like dig deep, like what options do we have here that are good? And Saberlight might have just been like, you know what, I'm gonna find farm here on Darkseer. I can buy aura items, we can team fight. And yeah, that might have been what they were trying to accomplish here, was to find some sort of better team fighting presence.
Yeah, we can see Abed fighting up against Bryle again. It's going to be the Invoker this time for Abed, with Bryle playing the Storm Spirit. Relatively close CS, especially considering it's a Quaswex Invoker. I mean, how does Invoker fare versus a Storm in terms of CS generally? Because, I mean, we don't really see Exort very often, and that's usually how you get the last hit. Typically, Invoker gets destroyed in lane early until you get the Hand of Midas and all that good stuff.
It's got better for Quaswex after the patch where Invoker got some base damage. I would still say in this lane, I think Storm is maybe slightly favored on CS in the beginning, also because of his better ability to farm small camp. That's something that Invoker does very poorly. A little bit of a curry snipe here from Moon Meander onto Jerax. So yeah, I would say Storm pulls ahead slightly, but Quaswex Invoker does better in lane in a lot of matchups than he used to, so I'm not really too worried for Abed in that aspect. Quaswex Sword Invoker, I think, can probably draw, or maybe even win if played very well against Storm. But not by a lot.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Top lane, Tomato Morphling, Dubu back on that Bane, as we're going to see, oh wow, a lot of damage being applied from Jerax. That's going to be first blood, just with that little shredder on Moon Meander's face.
Yep.
I'm guessing he doesn't have Leap yet. He does. Okay, he used it to...
He's used all of them, yeah.
Interesting.
And Arteezy opting to buy Boots first item here on the TA, a way of making distance to the Ion Shells reliably against Darkseer. Very important in this lane. And he's doing just fine for himself in terms of CS, so...
Okay, well, Jerax gonna suicide to the creeps to get it back to the fountain and refresh. So back to the top lane, Tomato Morphling, Dubu. He's gonna get initiated on with the charge. Inkswell combo from Nightfall and company. Not enough to actually get the kill. Actually, a beautiful block from Tomato, stuck inside the tree line.
Dude.
And Nightfall finally eats a tree, but I think he might be dead anyway. Trying to juke around. A couple more right clicks will suffice. Okay, that was... Actually, the slow from Stroke of Fate might have been enough. So Nightfall looks to be fine.
That was really nice, though, from Tomato. Super heads-up play, but didn't quite make it.
Oh, wow. Little Shredder is owning right now, Jerax.
Yeah, this laning combination is kind of cool, right? The double minus armor is really... How much is it in combination? So 5 from Meld, and Little Shredder with 5 hits is... Oh, that's difficult math. 4.25, I think.
Okay, well,
Something
there's
like that.
Blightstone as well. Don't worry, don't forget about that. As we have the Inkswell again, this time in the mid lane. Bryle taking a beautiful save from Dubu. That's a Yabba Dabba Dubu right there, Cinder.
Oh,
He's
I like
doing
that.
Great.
It's 3.75, by the way. Don't correct me, chat. I know my math.
Thanks, Cinder. He has a calculator, by the way, right by him.
Yep, inside
Along with chat.
Inside my brain.
Yeah, you can call it that.
Okay.
So if you're not able to calculate something, there's some like corruption in your brain, a virus or something.
I just have really strong mental resiliency.
I see. Yeah. Resilient.
Yeah.
Can you stop joking
That's
around?
okay.
This is
It's
a very
okay.
serious game, okay?
It is.
Please.
It is. Sorry.
So Tomato looking at his CS 23-8 as we see Jerax again.
Oh, he's in trouble this time.
Yep.
Oh, they were
That's
trying to
Ion
catch
Shell,
him
but
mid-cookie.
Okay, he's going to leap to the low ground, but he's going to be met by the minus armor of Arteezy.
Yep.
Another meld kill.
Yep. I really like that attempt from Saberlight. It's kind of, it becomes this mind game where you're hoping that the cookie's going to come out there and you're trying to vacuum mid-animation, but Jerax was just patient. The vacuum came out and then he jumped.
Yeah, he's having a really good game.
And actually, the Mirana, correct me if I'm wrong, the Mirana got cookie stunned, right? I
believe
think
so.
Moon Meander leaped at the same time as he cookied down, took the stun, and then got melded, so...
Yeah, really good timing. Arrow not going to connect from Moon Meander, but Jerax
Doesn't
looks
need
to
it.
be dead. That's
Oh!
okay. Another neutral creep kill for Jerax. Are you serious? I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, hey, that's great. You go high ground. You make him waste a little bit more mana on Storm, but he also denies himself, so... A double whammy there for Jerax. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that was actually very expensive for Bryle on the mana account.
Indeed. But looking at the mid lane, I mean, how do you think this mid lane is going? Is this what you wanted as if you're coming from TSM's perspective?
I think it's fine. You know, Bryle is ahead of Invoker as expected. About 400 gold ahead right now, I think is solid. Minute 7. Hasn't died. He's hoping to... Oh, there's no rune for him to grab here, so I think he's going to do one final small camp stack here. Or not stack, but just farm the camp and then maybe get a bottle refill. That is indeed going to be the case, so here comes Dubu. Do you like this mechanic?
What mechanic?
Bottle refill.
No, I never have. But I think it's a necessary evil.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Dire's middle
What
tower
do you think it's because it's too punishing not to get the rune? So that if bottle refill doesn't exist, then
Yeah, the RNG
whoever
is a little
gets
bit
the
too
rune.
heavy. Tomato. Ooh, the cookie misses, so he's able to get his attribute shift off. Well, he is silenced right now.
He's fine.
He doesn't even need to bother waveforming, or at least, okay, now he will. So they forced that
Oh,
out.
if he bashes him here?
TPing, but Nightfall
Didn't find
on the
him.
other side of the tree line.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, with all the complaints with RNG with, you know, runes have huge impact on the game. If runes didn't have as big of an impact, then maybe not. But Mumiana's going to get charged. Wrong place, wrong time. EMP does deplete his mana. But he's able to get to the other side of the trees again as a bash on the courier. It's exactly who you want to get it on. Dubu, in the meantime, Inkswell is there, and he is surrounded and will be brought down shortly. Surely he's dead. Okay, the cookie. Wrong direction.
No.
Dubu. Dubu.
No.
Are you serious? Dubu.
Now that was a good camera shot. The little side eye.
He is are you serious? Arteezy's gonna get back into the wall. Pops the refraction, but he's gonna die shortly after. Nice tornado. I'll bet a little bit too late to save Arteezy, but will he be able to get a constellation kill on the Saberlight? Looks like yes is the answer to that.
Oh, he's gonna keep chasing this. Traps here.
Yeah. There's the trap number 1. Bryle. Oh, Ice Wall as well, but has enough mana to zip away. And
Okay.
another bottle refill. Favorite
Okay.
mechanic. Very nice. he's still there.
He moved a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah,
Wasn't
slightly.
he to the left before?
Yeah, he was in a little crevice. Now he's in a wider area of the tree line.
That's great.
They're gonna see him with no HP. They're like, oh my god, he was there the whole time.
Yeah.
They're probably calling missing and all this good stuff.
Like, wait, what?
Play of the game from Dubu already. Nicely done. So 3-1 advantage for EG, but they're down in gold. 1K lead for TSM right now.
A lot of that is sitting on the mid lane, right? 700 lead for Abed there, and the supports about 600 ahead combined. So that is, if my math is correct, about 1,000.
Very good.
Oh, Crit and Jarex are fishing for something here. Dubois level
They see the
6.
courier coming in. Nightmare is gonna stop Abed in his tracks. He's gonna get nether struck though. The cookie to follow. They don't have vision though. Moonlight Shadow really helping him out. And there's the grip. Nice rotation from TSM. Abed is dead.
How is Dubu level 6?
Oh, he leashed a lot of XP sitting in that corner.
I guess he just got a full level while hiding in the trees. And because I was just looking, all right, EG are doing an offensive move here with a level 4 snap and a level 4 grim.
Oh,
and then
Brian
Bane is
focusing
sick.
on Nightfall now. There's the cookie. Will it be enough to get away? I guess so.
Yeah, well, I think Bryle gets that kill if he dives, but he doesn't have an escape plan
Oh,
after.
Saberlight. Okay, Jarex is going to die to the Ion Shell. Looks like Inkswell from Crit will hit
Nice
on only
timing.
one. And Saberlight looks to be fine, although Abed has come to play now. There's the cold snap with the EMP to follow. Saberlight can't make up his decision on which way to go. EMP does connect. And looks like, wow, that's a very ambitious TP. It's like, if Dubu did it, I can too. Crazy play, but no. It's a 50-50.
Well, at least you get a free one for dying, so.
True, but sadly it's
Do you like that
off
mechanic?
cooldown. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Well, are you going to just ask me about every single mechanic in the game? Do you like that, analyst?
Oh, I think it's okay.
Great analyzing.
Thank you. It's not honestly.
bottom tower.
I guess the role that on average benefits the most from it is probably the support, right? Because the 5s die the most on average and don't need to buy TPs. And that's part of the reason. It's another, I love talking about power creep in Dota, and that's one of the contributing factors is when you die, you get punished less. So you get more gold passively, you get more gold because you don't have to buy TPs when you die. There's more gold on the map, there's neutral items. The game has just ramped up its pacing a lot in the last year.
For something that looks so mean, He really is just a piece of
Why
shit.
did the Kobold decide
He
that now
doesn't
is
do
the
anything.
time?
He doesn't do anything.
What? Are they
Actually,
just
so useless.
it-
The only thing he's good at is dodging things because nobody wants to hit him. They don't want to spend the time to hit that creature. I mean, I'm guessing this is from a shovel, right? It's not like from a camp or something. Moon Meander, Nightfall with the charge, Ink Swell combo on top of Nether Strike. Couple TPs to come. It's not going to be enough to save Moon Meander, but can they get collateral kill on top? They're going to focus on the Grimstroke for now. Bryle looks like he's going to likely get this kill. Is silenced with the Phantom's Embrace. Take it off pretty easily. Now the
Grip's ready.
Nightmare onto Abed. Grip from the sideline. Dubu inside the trees, but they have vision. Nightfall, nice charge, canceling that. Cold Snap now into Bryle. Oh, Tornado. Only going to clip Dubu. Looking for a Bash's Nightfall. There's the Ice Wall. Not really going to do too much, but Dubu, as long as he's by a tree, he's going to feel very safe.
Nightfall was very aware that that was going to happen to Abed, so very quick on that charge. And they had no way of interrupting the charge. I think Static, the Electric Vortex was on cooldown for Bryle. Couldn't get the angle, but might find Nightfall instead though.
And he doesn't have much mana. He does pop Bulldoze. A lot of status resist there. Arrow connects. Dubu's in the area though. Starstorm, more than enough damage.
This wall is far.
As we are looking at a replay. Oh, that was actually really close.
That was 0.0.
Yeah.
And as a result, he died?
Is that what happened? Well, he TP'd out. Okay, yeah, he did
Okay.
die. I didn't even realize we missed a kill. I was like, is this from another game?
That's the next level replay. Guess the year.
Yeah.
Just play a random clip.
That sounds like a cool trivia game, actually.
You need to
Just
do it without the
basically-
UI though. or
Yeah, the HUD
there's
is-
too
makes
many
it
tells.
Yeah. I mean, you never know with Morphling, because he's looked the same since day one, right?
That's true.
Minecraft days.
I saw a post today that he has half the polygons of the default courier.
Wow, that's great to hear. Next
a-
battle pass, though. Jerax taken out by Moon Meander. Nice setup there for TSM.
I'm sure the community will... I'm sure there's going to be a hero remodel vote again, and everyone will vote for Morphling.
Yeah, right.
Worked out well last time with Faceless Void.
Oh, yeah, what's happening? Wait, that was the Arcana vote.
No, Faceless Void got a remodel as well, right?
Oh, yeah. You'd think they'd choose somebody with a face. That's at least more to work with. That's too bad. I mean, they had the voice line thing, too, which was Spectre. That was an abomination of a vote.
Who would you want to rework on if not Morph? Who's
For
your
a
second?
remodel?
Yeah, for a model. Mirana's a cheap answer as well, so another one. No Morph, no Mirana, because that's what everybody says.
I'm going to have to think about this one for a minute. Give me a minute here. As we continue to cast a game that's in front of our eyes right now instead of talking about complete bullshit as usual. There's the smoke from TSM. Oh, God, I don't know.
I'll show you the hero roster.
Okay, thank you. You cast the game while I look.
Okay.
Dire are
They're smoked. They're still smoked.
Is that your best?
No, it's not, but it's more fun. All right, let's see. TSM, what do they really want to do with this? They look like they want to try to pincer mid tower, but EG are well aware, hiding on the left-hand side, so it should be difficult to find an opening here. RTZ heading toward Roche, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you just pull this off as EG, but you're going to try. Smoking into the pit. And is Arteezy going to start? He will.
All right, I'm going to go
Double
for
null.
Sniper here, Cinder, as we get back into the game. 3-man smoke from EG in the Roche pit. Will they get away with this? Good
3
amount of minus
melds.
armor. I mean, very little mana, though, for Arteezy, so he has to be a bit careful here. Nightfall's going to get the Nether Strike on the Moon Meander. You can see the kisses from above. Looks like Moon is going to tick down. Nope, he actually will live thanks to that leap. They do find the Darks here, though. Saberlight does have buyback. This might be worth, because he still has his ult to work with.
Yeah. Saberlight did run in with Surge there, but just got caught by the Spirit Breaker and didn't really get to maneuver the fight at all.
Nightfall, he's going to get dropped here in all likelihood. Do they have the vision? They pop the dust, but the arrow doesn't hit. And Roshan is going to be abandoned now from Arteezy and company.
This is a very dangerous moment for both teams, honestly. If you get any sort of good opening here, the morph with the shapeshift, well, that's not what it's called, but
Good effort.
he's done being morphed. So no more charges, but he did just have a charge that could have led to a fight if the
Yeah.
vision was there. Illusion Rune for Bryle. All right, they found an
Nightmare
opening
set up.
potentially.
Yeah. EG are a bit grouped up here, but looks like the arrow's going to... Okay, grip, but it's going to
what?
get instantly canceled. Dubu has a death wish. He's dead. 30 seconds. No buyback. Arteezy... Okay, that's every member.
Whoa.
Let's just see every single person before we get back to the game. Thank you. As Bryle Still has that illusion rune to work with, so that will act as a pseudo dispel.
They seem
if
a little
needed.
bit. I don't know. I think TSM seem a little bit disconnected. Like they send in the Darkseer, he kind of runs in alone, gets killed by Spirit Breaker and company. Then you send in Dubu, he goes for a total YOLO grip. I don't know if the idea was, I'm going to grip them, they're going to respond, and then we can jump with Storm and Darkseer, but it wasn't set up that way by the team at all. They weren't in position to use it as a bait effectively. So a little bit, playing with a little bit of stress here. Understandable. Like, EG are forcing Roche, you got to do something about it, but these responses from TSM have not been the right ones.
Arrow onto Roche. Arteezy has a lot of mana to work with now. He's refreshed himself. There's the Inkswell combo with the charge. He gets the bash as well. That is going to be the death of Bryle, and that should be a freebie Roche for EG.
Yeah, no buyback. And now Saberlight, if he wants to be Superman, then that's going to end badly. He's going to get charged with the vision of the Psionic Trap.
I mean, Nightfall is creating so much space with that Shadow Blade. But down goes Roche, Arteezy with the Aegis. Still TSM, I mean, net worth still in their advantage slightly, so definitely still in this game. That death did hurt quite a bit though. But you can see the farm discrepancy between Bryle and Abed, still pretty large, still 1,500 actually, 1,500 overall.
But Arteezy is really getting a lot. That's also how you want the dynamic to work usually within Quaswex, Invoker, and TA, right? You just want to give TA all the safe farm and you want to make the moves.
Yeah.
You do have the hidden factor of Alacrity, which is going to...
Arrow, they're going to follow this up. Bryle and company, this Soulbind onto 2. Can they follow that? They get the Mortimer's Kisses onto several heroes. Abed is taking a lot of damage, though. They do take him out, but at what cost? Because Bryle is dead. Saberlight looks to be next potentially. Gets the Moonlight Shadow off, does Moon Meander, but the charge finishes him off in style, and Nightfall with the double kill. TSM getting wrecked in this fight. They do find Abed again, like I said, but I'm not sure if that was worth it, Syndrome.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Thank you. Is that your analysis?
Yes.
Okay.
That was... I mean... Are you seriously asking me if a 3-for-1 was a good trade for TSM?
Yep.
And
You know,
I would say it's a good trade if we played our good A to Z challenge and you were I don't know where I'm going with this.
good joke. You can tell it's getting late here. Syndrome just gives up on trying to be funny anymore. He never was, though. That's what he doesn't realize.
Yeah, so it's actually an improvement. I'm coming to my senses past midnight.
Depends on your
I
perspective.
know.
Jerax, right? You can see Tomato. He does have
He's gonna wall that?
Lincoln's actually.
Wall dust, okay.
Saberlight.
Nightfall doesn't care.
He sure doesn't.
Dude, okay, again, I know I'm repeating myself a bit here, but they seem a little bit on edge, right? Like this is not the usual TSM, and I said they weren't going to be tilted after game one, and I don't think they are, but just the way their strategy works, they seem a little bit less certain about what the next play is, so they're not really on the same page with what to do, and EG are really capitalizing right now.
Yeah,
So?
it's true. I mean, it's impossible to know, but yeah, it doesn't feel like they're tilted, but a couple of mistakes. I mean, this is not out of reach, though.
Absolutely not.
Very even game,
Definitely
despite
isn't.
the Aegis being on EG's side. It's really Arteezy is the hardcore carry of this game.
It's just based on what we've come to expect from what we've seen from TSM the last few days, right? That they've looked so clean, and they're really being tested here, and it's making them make some unforced errors, really, that they haven't been making too many of the other 2 days. Tomato's gonna get out here, has the Lincolns, he's working towards Manta, so going for a classic carry morph build. Obviously Lincoln's a almost necessary tool this game against Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
It's a rough matchup if you don't have it.
The Nightfall absolutely owning, right? I mean, he's top 3 net worth as a Spirit Breaker. Going for the, I believe it's BKB next, I would assume. BKB is online for Arteezy. And looks like he's going for the Aghanim Scepter next. We see the charge. Oh, actually clips Tomato. Pretty much full agility there. But
It's very fortunate for
What's that for
Bryle, because that means he has time to react on the Spirit Breaker connecting there. That could have got really scary, but Morph gives the info.
I mean, this was a pretty late Spirit Breaker pick, right? Wasn't it 4th pick for EG? Or was it last?
Third, fourth. They picked
Third,
it
fourth?
together with Grimstroke in the second phase.
Hero has come full circle, it feels like, as Tomato Gonna get EMP'd. He's gonna get slowed as well with another strike back into the ice wall. Tomato blown up by Arteezy. That is the state of the game right now. EG looking very good right now.
Yeah, TA with refraction. TA with alacrity is nasty.
And like I said, Arteezy is going for the Aghanim Scepter. That feels like a win more type item. Would you agree that this is? I mean, it's a lot of map control, a lot of pushing of lanes as we have the charge Inkswell combo again. No Nether Strike to work with though for Nightfall. As Saberlight will be able to get out.
Yeah, I agree. You have control of the map. You can just keep ramping up. You can make a lot of connection plays with Spirit Breaker, which is kind of cool. If you have traps in all the lanes and Spirit Breaker sees an opening, you're there. Bryle used his entire mana pool there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get Saberlight instead. Cold Snap EMP with the Spirit Vessel applied as well.
We'll get Dubu.
Yeah, Dubu will sacrifice himself again. Oh, Tomato, the side blades. There's the Aegis though, and I'm sure TSM, that's probably what they were having their eyes on, is the timer of the Aegis. But they don't have enough farm right now to really take a fight, I feel like. We have Bryle with the Orchid, obviously no BKB yet. Saberlight has the Vanguard, but still no Ags. And he talked about Morph already, just a casual Yasha to go along with the Lincolns. Feels like a couple items away from feeling at least a little bit more confident in fighting. I think the BKB on Storm and Ags, Darkseer are the big ones.
Yeah, you're probably, even with the Aegis down, I think you wait for the next item timing.
I mean, it looks like it's going to align pretty nicely between those two and Manta on
Yep.
Morph.
It's definitely a good lining up of items. For EG, I think there's going to be some counter items though. We have the BKB on Spirit Breaker completed, and the Ags on TA should also be online when those other items come up. So, but EG aren't going to wait around. They've got a charge onto Moon Meander.
Yep, Sunstrike. Oh, the Nether Strike, I think, brought him out of the AoE.
I think it did hit, maybe.
Did it?
It's a level 2 Sunstrike.
That's true.
It's not too noticeable. But yeah, not enough there. Moon Meander is relatively tanky. With 1400 health, he has the Pupil's Gift. The extra 14 strength.
Nightfall has his BKB. Oh, we're going to see this. All right, let's see. Nope.
Oh, you're right.
Backed
Actually
him
missed.
out.
Yeah.
Don't think, I mean, that wouldn't have been enough.
Wouldn't have been enough now.
Dubu, caught in no man's land. Cold Snap Spear Vessel combo again. He's getting charged still, so they have an idea, and Nightfall gets a freebie.
Yeah. Abed in the neighborhood gets a vessel charge, so keeps that on 3, which is important. You want to keep having these vessels moving into the middle of the game. You know, Morphling has the Manta, he might Manta off 1, then you have another one to punish. Especially if the Manta gets used previously without getting Vessel, then it's starting to be really good. And you can probably force that with potentially a Phantom's Embrace plus Spirit Breaker charge combination. Then you might have to Manta that off if the Lincoln's was already popped. Tower goes down to Arteezy here. Very strong Ags on the way.
Indeed, has the double damage as well. Still half duration to go.
I'm really impressed with TSM that this is a 1k gold lead.
I keep looking at the net worth thinking it's going to be something bigger than that.
Yeah, I feel like the way EG are controlling the map, they should have a bigger lead than they do, but TSM are finding really good farm around the map, especially Tomato sitting on 236 CS is getting what he can while under pressure. Still anyone's game for sure. I have to keep in mind that we've been praising this EG lineup quite a lot and what it's able to do, and Spirit Breaker is not this fall-off hero that it used to be. He also scales very well into late game. But you are playing against Storm and Morphling, and of course the Darkseer will only be getting better as well as the game progresses.
Dubu, all right, he's gonna get the grip off with Tomato coming in to blow up crit as Nightfall gets off the BKB Nether Strike combo. So we'll find the Darkseer, so it's a 1-for-1 to start as the kisses take out Dubu in turn. Tomato turning into the charging Spirit Breaker will find himself a kill as well. So it's a 2-for-2 trade. And now the focus is on Tomato. Arteezy alacrity'd up, so much damage to work with. And as a result, Tomato's in the grave.
And he was trying to find some fog around that one tree, but unfortunately he was targeted by good old Fey Grenade from Abed, giving them the vision.
Nice.
So no way out. Still though, and maintaining the 1k lead. Even though they
Are
do
we
lose
sure
that
that's not
trip.
bugged? It does
Is it
not feel
stuck?
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Arteezy, like the distance Arteezy has versus everybody else. That's the crazy thing. It's literally 4,000 extra gold on him.
The win probability, according to Gaben, is almost 2-1 for Dyer right now.
2-1 for Dyer.
I think it was 62% Dyer.
Wow. Okay.
So,
Well, this Roshan attempt is going to be pretty big. Arteezy, again, out of mana here. So if the TSM end up contesting, they could potentially fight this. This is a shard, so we'll likely pick it up on TA for that extra silence to go along with the Aghanim Scepter on the trap.
absolutely.
And it looks like it'll be EG's again.
Other noteworthy shards here.
Hey, the gold went up, by the way.
Oh, nice. There you go. Now it's a 50-50. Look at that. That changed really quickly.
Second Roshan, man. It's good stuff. They used to have cheese. Remember that?
Yeah.
Actually
Second
feels
Rosh
like
was
so long ago.
broken.
That was like 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
like not
something
that
like
long.
that. Yeah. Second Rosh in that patch was very broken.
Very glad they kept short, though. So it looks like Arteezy is going to be working on an Orchid for himself, likely to be a Bloodthorn, I would assume.
Charge.
All right, Inkswell charge, Dubu, dead. Oh, but arrow does connect. Okay, Nightfall. Not going to be stunned for too long. Buyback onto Dubu. We see the focus on Abba. He gets blown up, and Saberlight looks to be the trade of sort as Nightfall trying to continue on. Essence Ring was popped. Oh, the grip. That is a dead Arteezy Aegis, and he is completely surrounded by 5 members of TSM. And he's going to be brought down very quickly. Huge kill here for TSM. Huge fight in general. It looks like Mr. Jerax is going to be next on the list. So a 4-for-1 with the buyback only needed on Dubu, I believe.
Even a 5-for-1 if you consider the Aegis, right? That's a very, very good outcome. And you just see Tomato turning into that Spirit Breaker, just owned up that entire fight. I think part of the problem in that fight for EG is their target selection. So after the fight breaks out, they didn't have detection, first off. So Nightfall and Arteezy couldn't kill the target that they isolated. I think perhaps Spirit Breaker should drop the Windlace to get a dust. You're going to see, so the Dubu kill they do get, right?
The Dubu kill they do get.
Yeah. But now, after this, Nightfall is going to ult Saberlight over here. And Saberlight's just barely going to get disguised here by the Moonlight Shadow and gets out with Dagger, right? And it's so much time that's just wasted, right? Arteezy and Nightfall used, what was that? A good 15 seconds on not getting a kill. In the meantime, Tomato's just shredding everyone with Brown.
This is a big kill. Nightfall is a very big kill for TSM. They finally get him down. Feels like he has not died in quite a while. He's 6-2.
And it was just a trade-off for Dubu again.
Yeah. So TSM finding some good momentum.
Absolutely.
And it evens up the game again. Had a feeling this was going to be a really good series. And we're seeing that already. Of course, game 2 of a best of 5. Winner of this gets more DPC points, more monies, and more respect from Cinderin. Me, I respect everybody equally. Cinderin.
That's incorrect.
Okay, how so?
You respect me less than anyone.
Yeah, but you're a robot. You don't count as someone. Like, I don't include my computer when I say someone.
I do. It's my best friend.
Very sad.
I spend more time with it than any person.
That is true.
And so do you. Do not lie to the audience.
That is also true. I will admit that. Thank you, Cinderin, for bringing to light my addiction to the internet.
Oh, actually, true. You're kind of splitting it between the computer and a tablet now. So maybe...
I mean, a tablet is a computer. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, this conversation is getting more and more dull as it goes on. So
it was shit to begin with, let's be honest.
Let's abandon ship and restart
All right,
conversation.
haste,
It's going to be helped out here. Soulbind onto focused onto Arteezy. Arrow keeps him in place. 90 seconds.
Oh, no.
And by 90, I mean 80 as crit. In the tree line, he's going to be spotted by... Okay, I thought the waveform will see him. Okay, there we go.
I got it.
So 2 quick kills for TSM, and now they can get a lot of map control and maybe some towers here.
They could get racks. If they knew, actually. If they push straight down mid here right now with 5 heroes with the wave they have, I think racks were a real possibility. But yeah, Arteezy dying there to get that haste rune. He thought he could just sneak in and get out, but it was a bait from TSM. Very nice punish.
All right, well, they're going to come back to the mid lane, looking for stragglers, I believe, in that area.
Yeah, they have a siege creep here, and there's
do.
nothing. Abed does have a Midas, but I don't think. Is it on cooldown? First of all, it's on cooldown, and secondly, accessing that siege creep for him would be really difficult. So I would actually have loved to see TSM squeezing a little bit more of advantage out of this, but they're
I
gonna
love
take
how you
the.
tried to make a Midas cooldown exciting.
It's the only thing they have that kills the siege creep.
That is hype. No,
Apart
that's
from
cool.
TA.
No, I like it. I like it. I was not being sarcastic when I said that.
Okay, that it sounded
sarcastic.
very real.
I know, but it was real. So 3K lead now for TSM, and think
Now
they're
you would
looking-
imagine Uncle Gaben really likes them, and he does. He's a big TSM fan in this game now.
My goodness.
82% dire favored win probability.
I was
right
looking
now.
at Moon Meander's items.
Look at that roller coaster from 8 flags.
It's going to be 9 flags by the end of this game.
Yep, probably.
E-Blade on Moon Meander. E-Blade.
Yep. Very
Wow.
good item against TA.
Very cool. And you just can, use it in conjunction
Wait.
with Morphling. He doesn't even have to get one himself.
Morana has got
automatically.
2k gold from neutrals?
That's a lot of arrows to creeps, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Goodness. I wonder if that counts for like the arrow percentage hitting if it's a creep now, because it's actually a good thing sometimes, right?
There's no way to check your accuracy, though, is there?
Sure there is.
There is?
No, I just made that up.
Oh.
5-man smoke from EG. Oh my god, the charge from Nightfall so fast, but
Nice
Beautiful
nightmare.
nightmare again from Dubu. The save coming left to right. Big back wall. Soulbind immediately used though. The focus is now onto the Storm Spirit. Pops the BKB, getting bashed into oblivion. Looks like he's gonna die. Has the buyback. Will be expended immediately as Dubu finally falls here. And we'll see if TSM can continue on. Nightfall able to charge out to safety. Bryle and company focusing on Arteezy, and they'll get him again. 85 seconds, no TA. And now that Storm has bought back,
Yeah.
expect this push to come.
That was pretty expensive for TSM. I don't think they can go high ground whatsoever with 2 dead heroes here, and they traded a buyback of crit for a buyback on Bryle. I think EG are probably pretty happy with this. It's going to cost them top tier 1, of course. Tomato playing one of the best single sieging heroes in the game when you're just hitting the tower on your own like this. Very quick.
Oh, very nice.
Bringing that down.
Won't know about Roche for another minute and a half as we're going to see a replay here.
It's just... What a
Absurd how fast.
godly nightmare, though. Really nice from Dubu here.
Yeah.
And this vac wall, already 2 BKBs were in use there. If Arteezy and Nightfall weren't pre-BKB'd for that vac wall, that would have been a total disaster. But they do have a little bit more in the tank, and I think in hindsight, perhaps Saberlight was better off waiting a little bit longer there, but it looked really juicy, right, with all those heroes together. But you've really rubbed off on me in a bad way. I've never said juicy in my life until you started talking to me.
It's a good word. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, you can see that.
You can see Fly there,
Yeah.
smiling.
Standing in for Saberlight today, who's coaching TSM.
The clone. Clone Wars. 5K lead for TSM as they're going to smoke up. And, I mean, EG, kind of fortunate with these 2 deaths to Arteezy. Did not have buyback on either of them, but not a whole lot of...
Why is there a gem on the ground? It's a trap!
Yeah, he picks it up, and looks like Brow's going to focus on Grim to start. And they find crit as well. So 2 supports for free, and the gem as well.
Why was there a gem there?
I don't know.
Oh.
It was like right in the middle. It wasn't even close to a cliff, right?
No, exactly. He wouldn't have dropped it for the vision to see on the high ground or anything.
And that just expands the lead now to 8K.
Yeah, that was really big.
TSM have a good grip on this game now. No pun intended with Dubu.
Yep. But they do.
They do. All right, focus on the tier 3 tower. Charge.
Moo.
All right, the Yules to take off the bulldoze. The BKB immediately, but... Okay, I was going to say the grip is going to be a great counteract to that, but a nice tornado. Canceling it all. Yeah, not feeling super comfortable just because one support is dead.
Isn't it ironic that the cow got saved by tornado?
Why?
I'm sure someone in chat will appreciate that one. That's fine. Tornado is a type of dish you make with beef.
That's
with
the name is
with
tornado.
tenderloin. It's a tornado.
I thought this was a reference to Twister because there was a cow at the end of the movie that was in the tornado.
Yeah, that's
And I
actually
remembered-
that was actually what I meant. Good
Yep,
one.
You've never watched the movie before.
No.
So.
What's a movie?
Let's see the cancellation here.
So there's the Yule for the bulldoze.
Yeah.
And then instant grip from Dubu. But Abed very quick.
Yeah.
With that NATO. Nicely done. Oh. Well, Roche is up.
Roshan, I hear him.
He is
He's
bashing.
angry. He has Aghanim Scepter available for the taking.
Who do you take that on as Dire?
yeah,
Probably
hold that
Storm.
hot cinder.
But he's buying it.
That's true. He could turn that into something else, though.
Probably give it to Bane. I think the Bane one is legit because then it's hard to get Tornado, right? When you grip.
Yeah, it's possible, though. Still
Well,
possible.
how is it they place the illusions that grip
I
when you
think
have Ags?
they're in a line, as we're going to see the normal punch applied, and goodbye, Jerax.
Oh, he died.
Is that enough to take Roche?
Probably. I mean, not necessarily to auto. Yeah. Look at the hero placement. It actually is enough.
Yeah, they're not remote.
EG are not interested in contesting whatsoever. Tomato with the DD, very
I
balanced.
still think Bryle takes this.
The X.
The Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I mean, he could rethink his item build then.
Yeah, he takes it. So he consumes it, rethinking.
Yeah,
Looks
go
like Bloodstone now.
Okay.
I like it.
I would have honestly also liked the Axe on Bane. I think it
Oh,
could have been
all right.
something.
Bottom lane, Nightfall trying to take off Tubu. Looks like the Tornado's going to do the job for him.
Oh,
Tries
too
to
late.
TP out, but the Tornado. So many Tornadoes in this game, Cinderin.
Yep.
A Yules, Tornado from Mr. Abed himself. So it's a 1-for-1, but definite favor for TSM since
Oh,
Mr. Cow himself is quite huge.
Arteezy is charged.
He is.
And is he in a sentry or no? So Morph is honestly in a position where he can solo kill TA if she's in sentry. Because he can charge, and if the charge connects, he can Manta, break refraction, and then he has Scotty, and she can't get out. Except with the Ags, I guess he also needs to silence her, so probably can't get out actually.
Great
But he-
theory crafting.
He needs very little help in order to kill Arteezy, and that's concerning for Arteezy in these fights, right? It's a really big part of the Manta build in this game. It's just his ability to ruin TA's defenses very quickly.
Yeah, that was some great theory. That was like a 8 flags theory crafting. Very vomit-inducing experience.
You are my worst friend.
Your only friend too, so.
No, I have my computer.
Oh yeah, we've already established that. Crit, by the way, has his shard, so we've already seen that, but Inkswell shard is pretty ridiculous. His Tomato focusing on the tower in the top lane. Meanwhile, Mortimer's Kiss is being applied to
good back up.
Meander. Normal punch with the vac wall. Saberlight creating a lot of space here. Soulbind onto 2. But while this is happening, so much damage was done to the tower that Abed had to TP back to defend.
I trust everyone was out of sight.
I'm actually surprised Tomato came. I figured he would just get racked by himself since his team was creating so much space.
I guess he was worried that this was going to turn into a big fight, but honestly, I agree. Like, the Spirit Breaker was dead. I don't think there was too much risk involved staying up there.
Well, Bryle is getting charged right now. I'm not sure he's going to connect here, yeah. Moon Meander's build is awesome. Blink Dagger now to add to his arsenal.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Actually queuing up the boots of travel into... Okay, Ag's actually on Morphling.
Middle tower.
Who does he want to turn into?
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Maybe Storm?
Yeah,
Radiant
I guess.
structures are
You get the Electric Vortex, right? I mean, he can waveform in Vortex. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just not one of those. It's not like a Dark Willow.
No.
But Tomato focusing on the Rax mid. EG doesn't look like they want to defend this. I mean, still 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so can't really blame them. Top lane, oh, the grip onto Nightfall.
There's Bulldoze, though.
Bulldoze. Looks like he's fine.
He's going to get 25 on Spirit Breaker, actually, off 1 creep now. Oh, boy.
Zip in. Bryle, the arrow connects as well. Looks like that's going to be a freebie onto crit, no buyback, and they know this. Jerax is next. That's 2 supports dead. So huge number advantages here for TSM. 5 versus 3, not even including the Aegis.
And
This is
Dubu
gonna
is
be a
just
double rack.
wasting Nightfall's time so much. Finally will die, but that's 2 lanes of barracks in the meantime with no Spirit Breaker involvement.
Yeah. TSM cannot get... oh, sorry. Wait, can they get megas?
They can.
Is that a tower? Oh, that's a trap on the minimap. Okay.
Oh.
The trap
Yeah, I
looks
see.
similar, as we have the Bloodthorn now online for Arteezy. And they got to make a final defense here if they're not careful. Nightfall trying to create as much space. No sentries in the area, though. So it looks like EG will at least respawn with everybody up. That made literally no sense. Just ignore that sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
They will respawn with everybody up. Cinderin. And now they're up. So 5 versus 4.
Tomato
If they
still
wanna
has
wait for
Aegis
Dubu.
for a minute. Can just go for this.
He is going to feel very confident, for sure.
He has charged. They broke the Lincolns.
Yeah, but the zip back in. Electric Vortex with the Aghanim Scepter with the vac. and wall and normal punch to boot. BKB's pop galore. They're going to focus on Arteezy, and he's going to drop to the deck. No Arteezy for 100 seconds, no buyback. Deafening Blast on top of the Meteor on the wall itself. Looks like Nightfall is going to be next on the list, but we'll get out to safety. They're just going to focus on the supports for now. They get 2 again. Abed falls, but does have buyback. Triple kill for Bryle. GG is called. This series is tied up at 1-1.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with TSM. Okay, so the most impressive thing about this game for me was I didn't really see the direct obvious synergy in their lineup, but the most impressive thing was how little they fell behind while EG had map control. Like,
Yes.
they just kept finding really good farm on both the Storm and the Morphling, even under pressure. Saberlight was also getting his, even though he was having a tough game on the Darks here. So with all 3 cores managing to still find that begs the question for EG going forward. You won game number 1 in a nail biter. In this game number 2, you were also ahead, and you ended up losing this in a, in a different way. But how do you ensure, if TSM are able to farm like this when they're behind, how do you ensure that you have that late game policy, right? Because this lineup was on a timer. Quaswix, Invoker, and TA, I don't think are inevitably going to win against these heroes. So perhaps you needed a little bit more late game insurance. Yeah, I'm super impressed with how TSM handled this. I definitely thought they were going to be in trouble with how the first 20 minutes went, but they handled it.
This ensures that there will be at least 4 games in this series, but first 2 games have been very entertaining to say the least. Let's take a quick break and see what Cinderin and the other 2 people have to say about game number 2.
The other 2 people.
Other 2 people.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
And the pendulum swings the other way here in game number 2. In the process, I was actually pulling some interesting statistics on these upper bracket finals. Of the teams that have won their regions, the upper bracket winners were from SEA, which was Boom, China, LGD, and South America, Beast Coast. The lower bracket winners were from Western Europe, Game & Gladiators, and Eastern Europe, Spirit. So if we really want to make things fully symmetrical, it should be the lower bracket team that wins. EG may be destined for a win, but not after this game. They're going to have to fight harder for it because TSM FTX take them to school. And yet again, man, Bryle, he's operating today. I'm impressed.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm really impressed with TSM's ability to stabilize in this game when things looked grim. They had a couple of moments during the game on individual players where they were making plays that were slightly nonsensical, like Bane going for a grip that nobody was there for, or Darkseer just running in first, because they're like trying to set up these conditions that are difficult to meet. And then all of a sudden, it just clicks. They get their items on Morphling. In particular, I think once he got the Scotty, I think it really started picking up the pace. He just turns into Spirit Breaker, goes in, isolates the hero, and kills it off, and they just snowballed off. It was very impressive to watch.
Yeah, and just in terms of scaling alone, TSM were just always going to win in that late game scenario, right? So it was in EG's hands to play that perfect mid game timing, just not give them any leeway, but TSM played them up so incredibly well. Honestly, these two teams this is a proper NA rivalry in the making. They're so evenly matched that it's not even worth predicting who's going to take it, because I have no idea.
Yeah. And
who's going to win, Effie?
Me.
Yay.
Yay! I knew you had it in you.
Also credit to Tomato, because the entire time, much like you and Sunsfan were confused by how the network graph was refusing to move. I have no idea how that Morphling managed to get that much farm in such an oppressive map.
I will tell you, not about the Morphling, but why the net worth seemed like it should have been more skewed in EG's favor. It's because they were dodging EG so well, and you're playing with a Quaswex Invoker who really doesn't farm the map. Even if you're in a winning position and you have a QW Invoker and you can't find the enemy team, he's falling behind net worth, right? That's why it looked a lot more even net worth wise than it typically is with the EG.
That's true. And I guess maybe one of the reasons why we don't see Abed on that Invoker that frequently these days. Quaswex more utility oriented, and these days we're seeing Abed be a solo playmaker on the pucks, the TAs,
right.
The Storm Spirits.
Even puck scales really well nowadays, right? So sometimes it will be the better Invoker. It's not like it's the same hero, right? But you get the idea.
Yeah.
You wonder if... I think the Quaswex played a pretty integral role in getting them in the position that they were, but perhaps at some point you could have slowed it down, got a couple more points in Exort instead of maxing out Wex, and then gone with Forge Spirits and made sure you keep up the farm with your Midas so that you could scale better. When you do have that much map control, I understand like this predatory instinct with Invoker to keep looking for kills, but at the same time, if the enemy team is avoiding you really well, you need to make sure you don't fall into that trap that Effie's talking about, where you're not like, progressing your game plan very much. And there might have been a couple thousand gold up for grabs if he was really farm intensive, and who knows, maybe that could have changed something.
Any revisions that, or rather any advantages that TSM FTX were able to extract from this game that you would like them to replicate in their next game?
I think the ability to play the map from behind is going to be very integral in this series, because EG seem to be coming out of almost every single game that they've played, with the exception of the first day, from a winning position from the lanes, right? So if you can create the opportunities for yourself where you aren't playing from the back foot, if you're able to dodge, if you're able to find those key pickoffs, then keep it going, That's what you need to do.
That's true, because even in game number 1, EG had it and was kind of getting slippery before they crossed the finish line. Happened again in game number 2. What will happen in game number 3? Find out after the break.
Am I wasting time? 'Cause I'm already gone. So long, can you stay the night? 'Cause you're the thing I want. used to stand out. Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. Whoa. It's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. When it's late at night, I feel you on my skin. My skin. You're all that's on my mind. It's finally sinking in. You're it. I know you're feeling different when you're stressed out. But even with no makeup, you still stand out. Cause no one makes me feel the way you do now. Like you do now. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. Oh, it's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. The way that you move your body, you make it look like a hobby. Every time that you touch me, it's electricity. Things we discovered underneath last night's covers. Everything came so easy. It's electricity. Electricity. It's electricity. You move your body.
We have a series confirmed. It's 1-1 TSM FTX versus Evil Geniuses. Ain't no shutouts in North America. We are taking this patch out with a bang. Everyone's gonna get some time to play. Let's get that Warlock that Saberlight was talking about. He loves that hero. Yeah. I mean, Fatal Bonds plus
Really now?
nothing. Man, Warlock is a dead hero.
I'm sure he'll make a comeback. He's definitely on the short list of heroes that will get buffed the most or will benefit the most from the passive changes that we're hopefully getting in the next patch.
Passive changes.
Yeah, like, general like economy or some sort of redistribution of whatever.
Well, I mean, you're saying that, and yet I hear you on cast advocating against power creep. You're like, oh, these supports just die and get free TP scrolls?
Yeah, now imagine if all the supports get really poor. Doesn't that make Warlock better?
Huh.
If all the supports are dirt poor, Warlock's kit is suddenly a lot stronger relative to the other one.
That's actually pretty true.
There you go. I feel like Warlock is either S tier or like D tier every single patch.
Yeah, it's like the alchemist factor.
Yeah.
He is a very polarizing hero. Let's see who's in this game. Number 3, TSM FTX versus Evil Geniuses. Ba-dum, ba-ba-ba-bum.
All right,
Bane.
no Puck.
No Puck.
No Bane.
No Bane. And
All
let's
right,
see.
Dubu, what's it going to be then? Probably Io.
Every grand finals series, it just has its own meta, right? And then every game, just the bans change and the picks change, and it feels like a patch within a patch every time you get to the end of an event.
Definitely. That's why I personally wish that BO5s were more common, because not only is it because it's the grand finals, stakes are higher, but you get more room to experiment. You know, you're down one game, next game is not elimination. You still have another strategy that you can whip out.
Do you want to get back to the good old best of 7 grand finals that
Dude.
they had in China once?
And the legendary lunch.
And the comeback from 0-3?
Oh my god. What a time to be alive. I think they ended that series at like 6 a.m. their time.
Must have been the best lunch ever. They just turned a 0-3 to a 4-3 after eating.
Wow,
Man.
offlaner ban straight up the top. Beastmaster taken out.
Yeah, he was banned first phase last game as well by EG, but what was the other ban they had? Weaver.
Yeah.
So now TSM, they're in a really interesting position here. Do they dare EG to first pick the Weaver, or are they gonna ban it out? If they leave it in, what's the trade you're getting? You can give away Weaver for IO +1, Snap Mars, or
Storm Spirit.
Storm
Like,
+1. Yep, they're gonna leave it in. Take your pick, EG. Do you think they're gonna grab Snap Mars if they take Weaver? Or are they gonna go Spirit Breaker? Because in my opinion, that's one of the best counters to Weaver in the meta right now.
I would agree with that, actually. It's very frustrating to play against Spirit Breaker.
The stock on Spearbreaker has gone down so far, though. He's not even getting banned until second phase or
Yeah.
picked until second phase.
But Weaver has also been first phase banned every game.
True.
So suddenly the dynamic can change quite a lot. To me, that's one of the biggest assets of Spirit Breaker.
What about-
is his ability to deal with Weaver?
Yeah, they didn't let
We
they didn't
forgot.
ban that
That's true.
swap.
There's also Quab.
Oh, we forgot about it.
Snap pick Weaver. SB as well, maybe? Okay.
Kunkka. But you know what? Every Kunkka that we've seen fail so far has just suffered from a lack of damage, right? But you don't get that issue when you have a Weaver. A Weaver, as a support hero, just provides so much by way of whatever itemization he goes for, which is very flexible, and just how good the Swarm is. Like, the Swarm coupled up with Kunkka, you've already
5 seconds
got
remaining.
a decent amount of bases covered.
I wouldn't be surprised if Weaver is one of the highest average damage per game support in this patch. And it doesn't, like, when you think about it, it is maybe a little bit surprising when you think about how the hero usually used to work, but the Swarm is just that good. It's crazy how much damage you can do.
Yeah.
But is he the one doing the damage with the swarm? I feel like the armor reduction is so everyone else can do more damage.
Yeah, that's another part of it. But just like on the end game scoreboard with how much
Yeah.
damage the hero has done, right? And then on top of that, you factor in what it does for the team. It's an
Right.
incredible.
It also
hero.
does like damage over time so long as the bugs are latched onto somebody. So I think Weaver probably has the best level 2 power spike out of the current meta heroes
Yeah, I agree.
in Dota. I would argue that Dawnbreaker is probably the strongest level 2 lane support just because her damage output with just those 2 spells is ridiculous, but she doesn't seem like a very high value hero, right? So Weaver does trump her in that regard.
And there's also a lot of lane matchups against Dawnbreaker where you can interrupt the combo, right? Like if you have any stun, any silence, any like strong slow, perhaps even to reposition against Weaver, like what can you do? You get Shikuchi'd on and swarmed, what are you gonna do? Like some heroes can maybe like blink away and kill the bugs, but they're not very popular offlaners right now, with the exception of maybe Queen of Pain, who can play literally any role.
And speaking of Queen of Pain, it's hilarious that we forgot about her just because we've been so engrossed in this grand finals meta already,
Yeah.
and it feels like she really doesn't make it through. But giving this hero to Abed, you already know that there's going to be so much early tempo around
Ooh,
that.
you're already leaning it mid?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the most likely for EG, I agree. It's not out of the question, you could put it on another player, but
I don't like that.
I don't think you should put it on Crit if you do. Could see a Nightfall Quap. I could definitely see it being one of his side lane heroes, actually.
You know what? It also kind of fits the bill of an aggressive laner from the offlane that doesn't fit the particular archetype that we're used to, of just the blink, initiate, stun kind of thing. We've seen him play with Viper. Queen of Pain could, on paper, be similar, but